Okay. Oh, hold on. Jeff, why don't you host? I can't focus. There, I did it. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, welcome everyone to episode 5 of the Saints of Misery Roundtable. I am Amanda, or Elizabella. It's been a while since we've recorded. I am joined by my compadres, Grandmaster Jarf, Flo,
Hello.
and Kaba.
Oh,
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a
Indeed.
while. Yeah.
We haven't recorded since last year,
I mean, technically, yeah. Yeah.
so
Yep.
boy,
It's been a while. A lot of things has happened. You know, holidays.
I know.
Holidays, the guys moved, and then
Yes, we did.
you know, bunch of stuff. So
Life,
life. Yeah, I guess that's
life.
it's a good way to
We'll
sum it up.
We'll just say life in general.
Right.
Yeah.
What-
Is our? What should? It just says intro. Doesn't say anything else.
Yeah, that was most epic intro ever. How's everybody doing?
I know.
What?
What's
Whatever.
everyone been up to? Yeah. what's everyone been up to?
Pardon the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
I it's okay.
We're a little out of practice here, so we need to rearrange ourselves a little bit so we can get to our material.
We're a little rusty.
It's
It's
like-
okay.
It's like, what? How does this work? Like, how do we talk already?
It's okay. I'm just gonna hide right here behind my mouse pad. See, I'm just hiding. Yep, right behind my mouse pad.
I guess we did forget to put something in the intro there, didn't we?
It also says nothing in the intro topic, so
Yeah, that's
Well,
true. That's true. We haven't really
We,
brought anything
let's
in.
let's touch surface on the fact that Blizzard's actually settling that lawsuit for $18 million.
what?
Oh wow, I didn't even hear about
Yeah,
this.
you guys didn't hear about that?
Yeah,
So I was poking around on Polygon earlier this week while I was at work, like I always
I
do.
love Polygon.
And no, was it? No, it was Kotaku. I'm sorry, Kotaku. And it showed that Activision Blizzard was settling the lawsuit that they've been going on for the last year for $18 million.
Which is
Mm.
kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. The way I
Yeah,
look at it,
and-
because $18 million is literally nothing in the grand scheme of things for Activision, right?
Yeah, considering
is
you're
true,
being
yeah.
bought by fucking Microsoft for what, $70 billion?
Right.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
So that's chump change compared to what they're being bought
it's
for.
literally
Hey,
nothing. Like when you just look at what Bobby Kotick is making in a year, it's like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like-
Yeah.
exactly.
That's kind of a slap in the face. And there are conditions on that. I haven't read on it recently, but I
haven't
know
either.
I know they were talking about that settlement for $18 million for quite a while already, because it's with one of the branches that the lawsuit is with, and yeah, to me that's just a slap in the face, and it comes with some limitations as well for the people that are involved by, like the victims. I don't know if it's still true, but at the time there was a clause in the settlement that said that if you accepted that and if you accepted the money from that $18 million pool, you couldn't pursue any more things with
During
other...
the settlement hearing, a lawyer acting on behalf of the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, the DFEH,
Yeah.
argued that the EEOC's motion to proceed with the judgment was in violation of states' rights to its own jurisdictions. According to the Washington Post, the settlement could prevent the DFEH, which is pursuing legal action against Activision Blizzard,
Yep.
from seeking further monetary damages.
Yep.
So,
And that's
Damn.
that's like another layer in the thing, right? It's because this is not even so much the employees versus the company at this point. It's literally two branches of the judiciaries in the U.S. fighting each other. It's the FDHS and the EEOC, which are on two separate coasts and deal with different matters. One is state-bound, the other one is federal. And those guys are fighting together. And it's like, in the middle of that, you have the victims, and they're like, well, I guess we're fucked anyway, so...
Right.
It's really sad.
It
It
is.
really is. It's unfortunate that, 18 million, like you said, that's chump change.
It's nothing. It's sad.
Mm.
And how many people does that have to be divided amongst?
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
And then after you have
Yeah.
taxes, it's like I remember once growing up that my mom participated in a class action lawsuit, and we ended up getting a check in the mail for like $1.25.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
And I'm like, hey, $1.25.
Yeah, whenever they announce those lawsuits and they're like, "Hey, you can join in this lawsuit against whatever company, be part of the $35 million," and you end up getting like $5.
Yeah. And that's
And I
Hey,
can
guys.
go to the Dollar Tree now for $1.25. I could buy one thing.
yeah, that's
You go to Five Below.
that's one of the problems with the class action lawsuits too, right? It's that in a way it's good that they're there because that's a way to keep some companies accountable. But
Yeah,
at the same time, that most of the time, if you do join a class action, you're probably not gonna get much out of it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
The people that's making the most money on that's the lawyers. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
Exactly.
for real. Yeah.
Exactly.
But
I miss my dream career being a lawyer.
Unfortunately- What was that?
So I miss my dream career being a lawyer.
Oh, it's not all that's cracked up to be. We have a gaming friend that's a lawyer, and he's miserable.
yeah,
Shout out to you, Tython.
I did go to law school, and yeah, there's a reason why I didn't
You
finish it.
did?
You went to law school, yet you work at a prop shop.
You know what, honey? He has the most fun job I think out of all of us.
I know.
I don't doubt it. Don't doubt it.
So
Well
just
aware of that.
stop right there.
I do.
Like,
Which is-
that job is amazing.
Which is funny because my little stint in law school actually does help me at the prop shop because I can go over a bunch of the contracts and stuff like that we have with the studios and companies and actually kind of understand what it says in there. so,
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So-
That is
Yeah.
really great.
so it does help, yeah. But yeah, no, I did go to law school for a few years. I dropped out because I had a crisis of conscience where
Ah.
the only really interesting thing, like the only thing I was really interested in while in law school was criminal law. But as I started studying that, it kind of came to me that if I finished that, I would have to spend like 5 years after becoming a lawyer into like some kind of dinky firm or like working as a court-appointed lawyer, and for 5 years I'd have to defend people that I know for a fact were really bad people, and my job would be to make sure that they walk, and I couldn't sleep knowing that, so I was like, nah, I can do it.
So that is very similar
Mm.
to our Jarf and our friend Tython. I've known him for, it seems like forever and a day. We used to raid together back in Lich King days, and before that. Where are you going? Oh God, Jeff just grabbed something that's gonna scare all of you, I think.
Oh no.
And he went to law school, and he's like, yes. So now he works for a public defender, and yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's very happy.
Yeah, that's exactly why I dropped out. I did not want to
Because
be.
they found he's really good at family and divorce law. So the office that he's working, they just keep giving him all those cases, and he's like, I didn't go to law school to be a divorce attorney.
Those are the worst.
Mm.
But he's a fantastic lawyer.
Oh,
Like he
I don't
does
know it.
Guardian ad litem work, things like that, domestic
Mm-hmm.
violence.
And it's hard. Like, a lot
Yeah.
of people shit on lawyers, and for good reasons a lot of the time. But like being a lawyer is hard. It's a hard thing to do.
So what else would we? No. Put down the puppet.
But yeah, speaking of the Activision Blizzard thing, I wanted to make a segue into the buyout by Microsoft, who were on break when that happened,
Mm.
and so it's gonna be a buyout. It's not finalized, obviously. Like, it still has to go through the whole legal process. It will take a while. My guess is probably it won't be finalized until at the earliest later this year. Probably not until I would say mid next year. That's when we'll know for
Right,
sure
right.
if it's happening or not. But like looking at the latest stuff that's been happening, I feel like the chances of this actually happening are like becoming smaller and smaller. Like when Microsoft came out and be like, oh yeah, we're buying Activision Blizzard, like that was basically that was it. Like we're like, okay, cool, it's gonna be great. I'm one of the people who think that's a good thing for Activision Blizzard at least, and for the games and for the gamers. But this being said, you know, because of the way the law is made in the US, there is a chance that it doesn't go through, right? And
Because it would be deemed a monopoly.
I was gonna say, wouldn't they then be considered a monopoly?
No.
nah, I don't think if it doesn't go through, that's not gonna be based on that. I don't think so. Because there are many ways to prove that it's not gonna be a monopoly. Because
That's true, because the monopoly would be like if they were the only.
if they were the only, you know, game service providers out
Yeah.
there, then maybe they would have a case. But right now there isn't. Sony is pretty big. Apple has biggest as I'm not entirely sure about the numbers, but I'm pretty sure Apple has a bigger market share in terms of gaming as a whole in the industry than Microsoft does. Like when you look at the market, I think Microsoft, if you include Activision Blizzard, like would have like what 15% of the market, which is far from a monopoly. So like I don't think it would stand on the grounds of monopolies.
I don't think it would either.
But
Yeah.
but there are some people in the, you know, in various places who have concerned about what it means for the employees, what it means for the companies that are involved, and all those things. So like it's no longer 100% certainty that it's gonna happen right now. The way I look at it, it would be kind of more of a, I want to say 80% chance that it's gonna happen. So it's still very likely, but yeah, I feel like the industry, the gaming industry as a whole lately is going bananas with those things, right? Everybody's just buying everybody else right and left. It's crazy. Like
It's definitely become a trend.
it really is. I think like the big companies like Microsoft and Sony have understood that, you know, they need to kind of bring stuff together if they want to be able to survive and make more things and make more money even.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of the small mom and pop game shop.
I mean, they still exist, right? They still have a lot of
There are
indie.
some really cool independent game companies. I've been playing a couple really cute, really cool indie things. Well,
Right.
actually, just one. I'll
But
talk about later.
but like
still.
no, like we had a big boom for indies the past few years. But like I feel like between Microsoft buying every game studio around and Sony finally waking up and kind of doing the same, it's gonna be harder for indie games to actually make games that matter, right?
Well, yeah, because the more the big companies control the market, the harder it is for them, the independent companies, to get their stuff out onto the market and even the systems.
Right?
So,
It's like you know, if you look at the PC market and you look at the Steam front page, like how do you compete? Like if you're a small indie game maker, how do you compete a game like, you know, Lego Star Wars that's out there, or like the latest EA game that's out there? You know, like how do you compete against that on
You don't.
right?
You
It's-
don't.
it's fun.
I've been playing Cozy Grove quite a bit, and they are made by Spry Fox, the people that did Alpha Bear. The Alpha Bear was just like this small, cute little app, and you used to have to like line up the bear. It was like kind of like Tetris with different bears. And,
Right.
And then they went on and they did another one that they did Cozy Grove, and no one had really heard about them that much, you know. But they always did these cute little games with bears, always with bears, you know, like Bushido Bear and always bears, and they're just so tiny. But their game popped out of the blue, the Cozy Grove, when people started comparing it to Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And that's how everyone's like, ooh,
Right. And
you know?
and I think that I mean there's still potential for that kind of indie game to kind of pop off, right? Like we've seen it with games like Among Us, we've seen it with Fall Guys for a little bit, like the game you're talking about now. Like that's still gonna happen, but like just
Oh yeah.
just thinking of being like a small studio of like, you know, 2, 3, 5 people just making games and trying to live out of it. It's like It's hard. It's gonna be hard, and it's gonna get harder.
It's honestly like hit or miss. Really, is what it comes down to. It if the product doesn't really get out there, especially to like the niche popularity, because a lot of these ones are coming popular because of like streamers,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Usually because it's like lower cost and easy to play and stuff like that. There, and it just gets a big kickoff off of that.
And
Mhm.
totally cute and adorable.
Mhm.
You can't forget
Well,
that one.
right. Well,
That's
everything has its niche. So
yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
know,
yeah,
saying.
right?
Hmm.
yeah.
And for some people, if they don't want to devote hours and hours and hours of play to something, there are some gamers that just want to be able to have something they can pick up and put down and not be like,
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of what I've been doing this past few months. No, Ken and I played Destiny a lot, and we got a new expansion in February, and I've been playing a lot of that, but now I've reached the point in the lifespan of that expansion, the first season, where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done and burnt out. I just want to play something else. And that's kind of what I'm looking for as well in games that I want to play now. I just want to pick up a game, play for a few hours, and just put it down, and don't feel bad if I don't go back to it. Right?
oh, you'd love Cozy Grove then. I can't wait to tell you about it.
Yeah, I've been playing the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
I want to hear about that.
Since I just started this week. Really good game. Highly recommend.
What are you playing it on?
I am playing on PC in Steam. I'm playing the Steam version.
Okay.
And it runs really, really well. I've had one crash to desktop a couple of days ago, which kind of took me by surprise because I've never heard anything. So I think it was more a problem on my end than the game itself. My computer had been on for like 3 weeks non-stop with a reboot, and like it needed some Windows update, stuff like that. So that was mostly my fault. But like the game runs great, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Good.
Yeah, like if so it goes through all 9 main movies. It's episode 1 to 9. So there's a lot of meat right there. Each movie in itself takes a few hours to get through, so it's not huge. Like I'm about 12 hours in right now, and I just started doing episode 7, about halfway through episode 7, and I've done all the other ones before, so I've done 1 through 6, and so it's pretty quick, and that's what I like about this game, is that you can just play it. No, you can just play through each story. It takes you like 2-3 hours per episode. It's like, if that. It's really fun. The dialogue is amazing. But if you want more out of that, there are so many things to collect, so many collectibles to find, so many puzzles to solve. It's a Lego game, obviously, so you have like multiplayer style kind of puzzles where you have to use several characters to like solve one area, whatever kind of thing. A lot happening there, and there's just so much stuff to do. And the game looks really, really good, and it's just so much fun. Like they went on, like the people who made that game, they know what people say about the Star Wars movies. They know the memes, they know the cheese. They know like all the criticism.
So they put it in there?
They know the criticism that people have for the movies, especially the prequels and the sequels. They know all of that, and they're going full on with that. Like they're literally putting some of the memes in the game, like playing them. It's just it's hilarious. It's really, really funny, and there's a lot of like weird references that not everybody will recognize or know, but once you do, it's just so funny. Like when you do episode 4, A New Hope, and you do the part in the Death Star, as you're walking around, you hear the stormtroopers are talking to each other. It's a bunch of banter and like funny things happening. And at one point, the turbo lift is deactivated. You need to like reactivate it. Like there's a small puzzle and stuff like that to do that. And then once you do that, one of those stormtroopers is like, "Oh, this is great! Now I can just hurry to the cafeteria before they run out of trays." And for a lot of people, they will just like fly over the head. But this references a skit by Eddie Izzard. I don't know if you guys know him. And
Yep.
Eddie Izzard was doing like a long time ago some stand-up comedy, and one of his skits was about the Death Star canteen. And in the skit, it's Darth Vader going to the canteen have his lunch, and he's going through the trays to get his food, but they're all wet, so he just throws them away. So like this one is wet, this one is wet, this one, it just throws them away, right? And so that little line in the game references that, and when I heard it, I just died laughing. I was like, this is amazing. And like
That's pretty awesome.
the way they go, like pick those things and put them in the game, like it's amazing. Like definitely.
Lego
my
has a
favorite
way
thing.
of doing that though.
Yeah.
Like Zach and I have played some Lego games, and my favorite one is Lego City Undercover. And there's all these like references to everything in there. Like there's a mode where you can put everybody in Halloween costumes, and you're like,
Right.
you know, it's just those games are fun.
Yeah.
And I've been considering picking it up, but
I like the Lego games, and this one's pretty cheap. It's like $40 US, I think, on Steam for the base version.
bad.
You can buy a couple expansions for a couple DLCs, because of
That's
course.
pretty cool.
But
Right.
just
Put the puppet away.
just the base game is really fun, really fun. I don't know, like every episode I go through, I hear a line from the NPCs, or like even from the people, like from the characters that you play as, just talking to each other, and it's so much fun. The way they just lean to how ridiculous Star Wars is sometimes, and how the fans are sometimes as well. How it just leans into that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like I just started doing episode 7, right? One of the newest ones, and I'm in that part with Rey when you see Maskanata the first time. When she finds Luke's saber, and like she hears all those whispers and stuff. And as you're walking around, you hear the voice of Anakin being like, "I don't like sand." that's the voice line that she hears from Anakin. I just laughed.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Oh man.
That is great.
Or like there was a scene when for episode, I can't remember if it was like 2 or 3, where you go back to Naboo and you play as Anakin and Padme, and it's right after that scene where Anakin has a bad dream or whatever, and he dreams that his mom is gonna die, and Padme is like, "Oh, like was there sand in your dream?" and Anakin is like, "Well, yeah, that was a considerable amount, but that's not the point."
That is so great. That is awesome.
And just like, oh yeah, it's great. I recommend it. If you guys have $40 laying around, or like want a fun game to play, it's a great game to play. And it's easy to, you play for a few hours, you put it down, and you can pick it up later. Like you don't lose anything. There's no online multiplayer, but you can play it using remote play if you want.
Oh, okay.
Through Steam, so this is great. But it does have couch co-op though. You can play it at 2 people on the same device.
Explain to me if you can, how does remote play work through Steam?
So basically, as you're playing the game, you can send an invite to someone in your friend list to play with you through the Steam overlay, and it basically streams the game to them, and they can interact with it and play with you.
Does the person who you're inviting, do they have to have a copy of the game?
No. That's the cool thing about it.
So it's a neat way to share games then, okay.
Yeah.
So you could play with all of us.
Yeah, I could. Technically, yeah.
But wait,
Wheels
you
are
can't have 4 players in
turning.
a Lego game.
Oh, I don't know.
You can have 2.
Well, anyways,
But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
that sounds really exciting that you've been able to find, like, that game sounds really cool.
It is fun.
Like really cool. I'm excited about it. It sounds neat. Zach's always asking for more games with Lego in them.
Hmm. And what I
So
like,
right now,
what I like about this game too is that, in terms of story, it
mhm,
it gives you the essentials that you need to know, like
mhm,
from the
Mhm.
movies, in case you haven't seen the movies. But it doesn't linger on it. Like a lot of
that's
a
good.
lot of the time, like you'll have one scene, and they
Mhm.
just combine a bunch of stuff at the same time. So like you're gonna have like 20 minutes of movie summed up in like 3.5 lines, but you still understand what's going on. So
Mhm.
that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Mm.
So that's what you've been up to.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And then work. The usual.
Kaba, what have you been up to?
Uh, Mostly art. I've been mostly focusing on my art, but I have been playing a few games. One of the things that I recently got into, and it was just kind of random because I saw somebody on Twitch playing it, was a game called Gundam Evolution,
Hmm.
which is the Gundam franchise's version or answer to Overwatch, more or less. Which
Okay.
it's not an official release yet, but they had a play test going on, so I signed up for it and actually got in.
Nice.
So it was really cool. I didn't get to play a whole lot, but I got to play at least a few hours of it here for it. Um, Really, really fun game. Like honestly, it's been a while since I've played a game of that style that I've really enjoyed. And this is coming from a Gundam fan, so I mean, yeah. But there is that. But I mean, outside of the whole Gundam aspect, if you didn't really know Gundam, but just appreciated like robots just in general, right? Or mobile suits, more or less, or that sort of thing. It's honestly a lot of fun. It really is. It gets the feel of the mobile suits and the robotics really well. Like one of the things that like was complimented a lot that I heard from like just watching the streams and me myself playing it here is that the audio in the game is just phenomenal. Like you get the feel of like the clunking, the clanging, the weird like high pitched like laser strikes and stuff like that there, and beam sabers coming out and stuff like that. It's really really fun. But
That sounds awesome. And
it is
you're not a
really
Gundam
cool.
fan. I didn't think you were.
Oh, I'm a huge Gundam
I
fan.
know you are. I was being sarcastic. My sarcasm sucks today. It's okay.
but but yeah,
That's so cool.
one of the things that I really enjoy too is that they have set mobile suits. So they have a selection of multiple different mobile suits there for it that they chose throughout the Gundam universe, more or less. And most of it comes from the Universal Colonies universe, which for people who don't really know Gundam that well for it here, there is a lot of like multiverse type aspects with some of the series where it's its own consolidated universe, more or less. Like for
Okay.
example, Universal Colonies, like the initial like Gundam series, like the older ones back in the 70s, and then you have like some of the other ones that come up from like the Gundam Wing, which is its own like After Colony universe, is what it's called. There's a one for like Gundam Seed, Gundam Double O, Gundam X. There's a bunch. There's a bunch.
Lots,
Um,
lot of Gundam everywhere.
it's sweet.
Is
Um,
that what that
um,
thing is?
yep, that's a Gundam Wing, isn't it? Like I couldn't tell from it there. Yep, it's Wing.
Is that the thing you bought and put together and had many choice words about?
yeah.
The models themselves are called Gunpla, and some of the kits can be really easy to put together and hold well. Some of the other ones are not. And if that's the older HD, the high grade, yeah, it's the older high grade.
How much was that? How we paid you? You got it pretty cheap, right?
I think that is the older high grade. Actually, I'm trying to remember.
Jeff, you're muted. I can't even hear you.
Yeah,
He's
because I'm
not-
trying to avoid the overlap. I paid $10 for it.
Bucks. Nice,
At
nice.
our awesome surplus store of junk, Martin's.
Pretty
Yeah, it's
good.
the
So-
HG After Colony one.
Yeah. So,
How,
but yeah, it's
how does it play though? What kind of game is it? Like you mentioned something like Overwatch, but like does it play
Right.
third person? Is it a shooter? Do you fly
Are you
around?
in the thingamabob?
It is
I have no
a-
idea.
so as far as it goes here, for the most part, you play first person. So it
Okay.
is a first person shooter for the most part. There are suits though that have different abilities that require third person view.
Okay.
Like some of them transform like some of them can turn into like a kind of like aerial craft type thing here for it, or have different forms of that sort, and so they have different bases, kind of similar to like what you've seen like with like I'm trying to remember his name now, but like what's the robot in Overwatch?
Oh, Bastion.
Bastion.
Bastion, that's it. God, I don't know why I can't remember that. But kind of like Bastion, where he has the two separate modes where he can kind of change that sort. And when he
Right.
goes into his ult, his ult, he changes into like the tank and stuff like that there. So it does something similar to that as well. But for the most part, yeah, it is first person. Um, the way the gameplay works is that every suit has at least 1 to 2 forms of being able to combat somebody. Then they might have like one defensive ability and then an alt, more or less. Like for example, I'll use the base which is the RX-78, so the granddaddy. Um, that one there, you're given his beam rifle. They call it an assault rifle because you can shoot it multiple times just by holding down the trigger. So it has that. It comes with its shield, so you can actually go out and carry out the shield as well. And then it has its flail, which the flail itself is the ability like where it just swings it once, and then once it swings it kind of wraps around and blows up on anything that you hit it with. And you have to wait for it to recharge. I forget what his ult is exactly, but it's kind of stuff like that there. Like another one I got to play was another mobile suit, which is actually exclusive to the PlayStation 2, like another game called Pale Rider, which is kind of looks similar to the RX-78, but it's a little more slick. Looks kind of similar to the GM Sniper, if people remember the GM Sniper. But it has like a little like kind of like SMG more or less for its gun.
Okay.
It has a kind of like I call it totem, but it's kind of like a little like pod or so that it can leave on the ground that heals and repairs.
Okay.
And then I think it also had like a grenade you can throw that causes like a stun. But then its ult is basically I forget the name of it, what it's called, but it's like it's an alternative mode where it gets kind of like a kind of like boost in its like abilities and like as far as like movement, strength, stuff like that there for like 30 seconds or something.
Oh.
So you can hit faster, move faster, stuff like that. So, but yeah,
So
but
is
just
it
to kind of go.
is it like team based or is it 1v1s? Is there like objectives?
It is.
Stuff like that.
It is definitely team based.
Okay.
And of the objectives that I got to experience, it was more like one team would attack, the other team would defend.
Okay.
And it was like point to point type situation.
All right. Okay.
Where
So like capture the flag?
not really capturing
no.
a flag, but more like capturing zones.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, okay.
it's like the
So like a battleground?
it's kind of like the 5 CP in TF2,
Mhm.
right?
It's basically. So basically, there's like a set area that the team that's defending has to defend,
Right.
and if the attacking team takes it over, then they back into
Then they
another
back up.
area.
There's
Right, exactly.
or it's like
It's about like 2 or 3 times.
or it's like Conquest in Battlefield.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like that. So
All
you
references I don't understand, but okay.
it's okay. But yeah, it's basic territory. You're basically capturing territory, more or
Oh,
less.
okay, I get it now. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So
okay.
that's essentially what it was. But it's all team based. And it was, I believe it was 6v6, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But yeah, and each of the mobile suits themselves kind of plays a different role. So we did have tanks, attackers, support units and stuff like that. So, and it's pretty cool because they take the aspect of the suits themselves and play them into that role. So, for example, like what would be a regular like grunt unit in the show, which normally gets killed within like 5 seconds, might actually have its own like its own base and actually have a workaround for it here to kind of compare to some of the more OP like suits and that sort.
Right.
I have a list here. Actually, I'm going to read off of the units that they had available for it. Which, I imagine when they release the game, they'll probably add on more suits as they go and stuff like that. That they'll have different roles. But just to list off the ones that they had here for it, most of which are actually come from the Universal Colony, but there's a few that come outside of it. Of here we have the RX-78, which I just mentioned before, Zaku 2, the Zazabi, GM Sniper 2, Dom Trooper, Gun Tank, Pale Rider, Barbados from Iron Blood Orphans, Methus, Ashimar, Turn A Gundam from the Turn A series, the GM, specifically the RGM 79, Gundam Exia from the 00 series, and then the Marastai from Universal Colony. So it's a pretty good variety of like suits here for it. Like, really, there's only a few here for it from like the other expanded like universes and that sort. But I'm curious to see like what they'll add as they go, and like how deep they'll go into it here for it, because there's definitely other universes they haven't touched yet, other series they haven't touched. I know when I was watching the one of the streamers there for it, people were talking about like wondering like they would actually tap into like the build series or the dive series, which is basically more or less fandom to the Gunpla aspects here for it, but play off the units of from the regular series and make like different custom things from them. That's either like mixes stuff or stuff like that there, which is also really really cool. So it's curious to see like where to go with it. But honestly, from like I said, from what I got to play, what I got to experience of it here for it, it was a lot of fun. Like, it wasn't the best polished thing there was. I mean, graphics wise, there's still some stuff out there I've seen that maybe look better, but it felt solid. It felt good. It felt fun.
To be fair, it was a playtest, so
It's
Yeah, I
true.
was
It's
gonna
true.
say.
So I mean,
So it's-
yeah. So I mean, it could be better anyway. Yeah.
it's probably
Yeah.
fairly early build. Is there a release date for it already or not?
Flo, you
No
just read
spec-
my mind because I was gonna ask him if there was a release date.
As it stands right now, there no specific release date from what I could see. They just said they have it slated for this year.
Okay.
So I know that they did 2 playtests. I was able to get into one. There was another one I think last weekend. And that's been pretty much it so far from what I heard. I'm keeping an eye on it now because I'm really enjoyed it. But yeah, was it as far as goes here for it? They're still stating that it's going to be released later this year.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be a holiday release.
Probably, yeah. Is there is there a word on the business model? Do we know what it's gonna look like? Is it gonna be a free-to-play game, or are you gonna have to buy it?
I'm not sure. It's
Probably
kind
has
of hard
the
to.
potential to be like.
So, according to the website, base game is free, contains some paid content.
All right. Okay. That makes sense.
Which, from what I could see of it here for it, I believe they might go with the battle pass idea
Yeah.
because,
I think,
like,
honestly, I know a lot of people hate it. I know a lot of people hate free to play and they hate battle passes and stuff like that. But I feel for that kind of game, like that's the way to go.
it honestly is, yeah.
Like
Well, what I find interesting, I'm sorry, Flo,
yeah.
is according to the website, it's going to be released for not only the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S, plus the PS4 and the Xbox One. Still, they're still including the older gen consoles.
Yeah.
When the newer ones are still out. That's surprising to me, actually.
Yeah, I think they probably started development on the PS4 and the Xbox One back then, and then the new generation came out, so they had to adapt for that. So I'm guessing that's why they're doing it. I do like that. I do like that. Some companies are still not making games for the older generation. This being said, there has to be a time when it's like we need to move on. Like,
Well, Sony's still producing the PS4 because of the PS5 shortage.
because of the PS5 shortage, which is, to me, it's dumb. I'll be honest with you.
But Microsoft has stopped all production for the Xbox One. They're only focusing on the Series X and S.
Which makes sense, because I mean, like the Series X and the PS5 came out what, 2 years ago already? 3 years ago?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
November of 2020.
Okay, so
And people still can't buy them? What the
No.
frig?
It's because they're getting scalped. They're still getting scalped.
yeah, not as
yeah.
much, and there's like production issues and
I
There
don't
was
know.
that silicon shortage last year that
the
caused a
silicon
lot of
shortage, and then
the
the
GPUs to
Oh.
stop being produced, the GPUs, stuff like
yeah,
that. So.
and everything
I
that comes
see.
out, of China is having a rough time coming out of China as well. So it's
Yeah.
it's complicated situation. But even then, like I feel there's a point where it's time to just move on and stop looking back and just, or else we're just not gonna get anywhere. Like we have things like Unreal Engine 5 that just got announced, which you can download for free, by the way, and play with if you want to, if you're one of those people. And when you see what Unreal Engine 5 can do, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. But like what blows my mind even more is that I see some stuff like Unreal Engine 5 that can do so many cool things. Like we've seen the demo for The Matrix Awakens back then, which is crazy. And some developers still trying to make the game run on the base PS4. Like we've seen how it turned out for Cyberpunk. It doesn't work. Stop doing that. Focus on one. Like either make it for your PS4 or your Xbox One, because you know the Series X and the PS5 have a compatibility mode. They'll be able to play it. Or make it for Series X and PS5 and screw PS4 and Xbox One. Like that's kind of how I look at it. And I know some people kind of disagree with me because they like having the options. Or not not everybody has a PS5. Not everybody can get a PS5 or a Series X, and I get that, but like we're not gonna be moving forward if we keep looking back and trying to make things work on hardware that's 12 years old.
Right.
9.
Close enough. with COVID, it kind of feels like time has doubled.
Oh.
Oh, good lord, tell me about it.
Now, I can understand why the companies are still producing the older consoles, only because of the fact that it's been so hard to get the newer gen. In a year or two, maybe after all the shortages stopped, hopefully after the pandemic's ended, and it's become easier and cheaper to get a hold of a PS5 disc or discless version, or the Series X or Series S, then yes, eventually we'll see the PS4 and the Xbox One be gone. Because I know when the PS3 came out, Sony still produced the the PlayStation 2 for like a year or two, and there were games coming out for it even long after the system was done being produced. It's the same thing with the PS3.
And they did the same thing with the PS4 and PS3 as well, right? When their PS4 released, they kept the PS3 for a long time. Like it took me a while to buy PS4. The only reason I bought PS4 was because of Star Wars freaking game on it.
Well, I bought my PS4 for Spider-Man, and I don't even have it anymore. So
the only reason why I bought a PS4 back then was 2016, is because that's when the first Battlefront game came out. But it came out with a special edition of PS4. It was Darth Vader PS4.
Yep.
And I was like, you fucking Sony and EA, you're gonna make me buy a PS4, so I bought a PS4.
Former roommate of mine has that special edition, the PS4.
It's
That's the one that yes, right? That I've seen.
Yeah, it has like it has the face of Darth Vader on the side.
Yeah, Vader's on the front of it.
And the controller is all custom. Like the buttons are all red. The controller is black. It says Star Wars on the touchpad.
It's like the
it's really
360 had that the R2D2 version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the C3PO controller. So.
Yeah, but I don't have a PS5, and I don't plan on buying a PS5 for a while. My main reason being that I honestly don't play on console that much anyway.
That's a good point. If you're not a console person, then why buy one?
I'm mostly a PC player. Like literally, my PS4 right now is being used for Netflix, Disney Plus, and YouTube. I haven't played a game on it since The Last of Us 2. It's been like what, a year and a half, 2 years?
Now,
just about
I'll tell you, we're talking about games being released on older systems. There's still people out there, independent studios, as we were talking about that earlier, still producing games for the Game Boy, for the Commodore 64, for the Apple IIe, from those old ass computers.
But that's a different niche, though. That's more the retro,
it's still indie games being released for older systems. I mean, you can't find a newer Commodore 64 anymore. You find one, it's either going to be super expensive because it's in really good shape, or it's in need of a lot of repairs.
Yeah.
You find a Game Boy, they've got with all the mods that are going out for the old retro handhelds, you can find an old game and make it look better. So, because we went to a game shop earlier today, they had an old blocky DMG, the original Game Boy. Somebody put us a custom Blasto shell on it.
Nice.
and they replaced the little monochrome screen with an IPS panel, so it's
Oh,
all
wow.
colorful and light and all that shit.
Oh wow.
Nice.
They had all of their Game Boy Advance SPs were all custom shelled SPs, and even the Game Boy Advances, they had a Game Boy Advance pink with Mew on it. $180, but it was a completely tricked out GBA with the IPS panel, so it was a
Right.
backlit GBA.
Yeah, it was like
Oh
completely
man,
modded
that
and
looked
stuff.
immaculate.
I was
That's
about
what
to say,
it was.
that
The
must have
thing
been
you
a-
picked up. That's the pink one you picked up while you were
Yes.
drooling.
Yes.
That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we love
Mhm.
Gamebox. It's this small little store. They are. Did you just see that flicker?
Mm-hmm.
Our power just flickered. We're
Alright.
having
Oh,
some
jeez.
wind and rain, so and we don't know how this side of the city is for the grid. So it just
So-
did it again.
Well, you're
If we
still
go
here.
dark, you know what happened.
Yeah. So, but the
Please-
store.
Please don't
it's
go
so
dark though,
cute.
because that means I would have to redo that overlay on the fly, and that's not fun.
It just did it again. I think
man.
I need to plug my phone in.
It's gonna be alright. But yeah.
Yeah, but the store's really cute. It's really small. They're like a specialty store. They do repairs. They take games. They, sell games. They have Sega Genesis games. They have all the systems. And in the middle of the store, when you walk in, the first time Jeff was like, "Is that for sale?" There's this huge floor to ceiling cube glass cabinet
With
that
a bunch of
has
collectibles in it.
all kinds of collectibles. It's like a nerd-gasm.
The
in
owner,
this thing.
apparently his wife told him he had to get a bunch of this stuff out of the house, so he brought it to the store and he has it all on display.
That's pretty cool.
Nice, nice.
It's a nice store. It's a really nice store. They have board games as well and dice and they do repair, and it's
Oh,
nice
very
to be
cool.
supporting an independent business.
Hmm.
But we'll
It's
leave
like
it at
B
that.
stock, but better.
It sounds it. It certainly sounds it.
They
Definitely,
only have
I
one
like the
in the whole
personal touch
state,
to it. Honestly.
so they have
Mhm.
one in the whole state,
It's
and they're
the kind
reasonable.
of game store you wish that everybody had. But regardless, we are getting way off subject here.
Yes. So, and that's my job to keep you guys on track. Bad me. So Jeff, Jarf.
That's me.
Yeah.
Are we
What
gonna
have you been playing?
Are we gonna be talking about his hairy ass now?
No. No. I cannot believe you guys. I cannot believe you put that on the show notes. And it's still there. Why is it still there?
It is
It was,
That's
don't
it.
put it in there. I
Please,
just
please,
numbered it.
please.
That's all.
Roll that beautiful bean footage right now. Yes.
I regret to inform you all that it is gone.
Now, the answer.
Oh God.
Nobody wants to see that.
the
So
answer
this
to
video has been sponsored by Manscaped.
Nair. It's not just for women. It's like okay, so this is paint, but Nair. It's not just for women.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So what have you been up to there?
Gotta give him a moment to recover. Man's not breathing.
Trying not to die. Oh.
We've been busy. We moved
Mhm.
since we recorded last. We are in.
Hey, it's my time to talk, not yours. I don't get to talk
Oh.
very often. You're the one who's
Oh.
doing the talking in this relationship.
Ooh, shots fired. I'm ducking out. Whoa.
I know where you sleep.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Anyways.
So, as my partner here was alluding to, we moved recently from our old apartment to a much, much bigger apartment. As you can tell by the set changes in both my area and hers over there. Look, I don't know if you can see my hand over there. So it's right there in the corner.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me zoom in. Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
Wait,
Look at that sexy hand model.
wait. Can you see it now?
Oh my god, yes. Yeah. I am so mad that I found that puppet in his storage unit when we were in Missouri at Christmas.
So,
Not cool.
not to bore anybody who's listening too much, but I'm going to go into this detail. So we moved back in November. because we found a much better apartment for a decent price, and it was literally, it's almost 3 times the size of the place we had, so it's much nicer. And we decided we were going to take a trip down to Missouri to visit my parents for Christmas. And we flew down there, not a problem. When we got to the airport, there was a problem. Airport forgot our luggage. Because
in Missouri. No, they forgot it in Baltimore. On the
plane
tarmac.
arrived to Baltimore so late, we had like 10 minutes to rush from one gate to the other, which was on the other side of the damn airport, of course. And they forgot our luggage. It showed up the next day, no problem. We picked it all up.
On Christmas Eve. Was it Christmas Eve we flew or Christmas Day?
We flew in Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So, we're there. We got a rental car for the week. We're driving around and all stuff. I went to my storage shed. I got a bunch of my stuff. And we packed up some stuff. We're digging through stuff. And I don't remember. I think I threw it down or she was digging through one of the tubs. And she found my sock puppet I bought 12, 13 years ago. From one of the conventions in St. Louis. And I decided I was bringing it back. And I've had it around various times to either terrorize her or make her son laugh his ass off.
The first time you did it with him, he almost peed his pants. He was terrified.
So imagine opening your eyes and seeing this in your face.
Yeah. Good times. He screamed. He went, ah!
But to bookend that trip, we were going to fly back home. Well, it was the day right after the New Year's. And for whatever reason, COVID or whatever, airlines delayed us and put us forward a day. Okay, that kind of screws everything up. But all right, no problem. We were going to fly back on a Saturday. We had a Sunday, no problem. They put us on Sunday. Okay, we'll fly back on Sunday. They put it toward Monday.
Just kidding.
They canceled it and do it till Tuesday. Canceled and put it till Wednesday. We weren't going to arrive back in this town until
Friday.
So we ended up having to rent a car, a Kia Soul, really nice car, by the way, and drove the 1,300 miles from St. Louis to Maine in a day and a half. Boy, that was a long road trip.
I learned a lot about my partner.
Long road trip.
It was a long trip.
Lots of caffeine. That's all I got to say.
You slept most of the way.
So lots of stuff.
Yes.
I'm driving, and he's like, I need to find a gas station. I need to pee. I'm like, we just stopped 30 minutes ago. I need to pee.
20-hour drive takes 26. So yeah.
But it was a good trip. It was a good holiday. It was interesting. But to make a long story short, because of that experience of us having to drive back, we got a significant amount of travel vouchers from Southwest, to the point where our family vacation that we're taking in August to Disney World, our flights were $66 a piece round trip.
Nice.
And
for three of us.
My surprise trip for next weekend cost me all of $50.
Nice.
Awesome.
So if you don't know it now, he will be in town next weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Though your dad's suspicious.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he doesn't watch the show before you get there.
Of course
I think
not.
my father knows what a podcast is. Much less a video cast.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But
Hey, what's that?
Yeah.
Tell me about this ordnance stuff. What are you talking about?
I think if it's not about bowling or the post office, your dad's not, or wrestling, your dad's not interested.
But you'd be surprised. But regardless, aside from moving and that weird ass trip from around Christmas, it's been a lot of on and off WoW, World of Warcraft. I got back in the Star Trek Online for a couple weeks because it's free and it's a lot of fun. Plus, I was rewatching all of Picard, starting to try to watch Discovery because I haven't actually fully watched it yet, and I started watching DS9 again for whatever reason. I've been playing a lot of DayZ, as everybody knows, because that's become whatever crack addiction I have for whatever. Been playing the new updates for Phasmophobia made the game a lot more interesting, that's for sure. We got back into Among Us a few weeks ago, so that's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
And after the new update, I just reinstalled No Man's Sky on my laptop and been playing that too. So been getting back into that, and that's been a lot of fun.
I need to reinstall that game.
Oh
I
well,
need to get it for Steam.
No Man's Sky.
wait till it comes on sale. Don't get it right now because it's full price.
Yeah.
Wait till it's like $20 during the spring sale. The laptop that I've got, I reformatted it, put fresh copy of Windows on it because it was taking 10, 20 seconds to boot up. Here, boots up in 2 seconds, no problem.
Nice.
Nice.
And it's got a better video card than I got on my desktop, so it makes No Man's Sky look a little bit prettier. Plus, playing it on the big 50-inch screen TV makes a hell of a world of difference.
I'm sure, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sit back in the recliner, got the little controller out and the keyboard and mouse. It's amazing.
But that's my gaming chair.
Not when you're not around.
But yeah, I haven't touched No Man's Sky since the previous update, I want to say. Not the
I
one-
haven't even touched it since the initial, to be honest.
I was the moron who bought it when it first came out. I was like, I fell for the hype just like Cyberpunk 2020.
Yeah, same.
2077.
I also got No Man's Sky. I had a pre-order for No Man's Sky.
Thankfully, I didn't pre-order, but I paid full price for it, and I was
And
pissed.
like I was like when No Man's Sky came out, a lot of people hated it for good reason. Like I want to put it out there, it's for good reasons. I personally wasn't too mad about it.
Same.
Because while it was missing basically most of everything that was promised. Like I played it, I don't know, I want to say I played like 30-40 hours the first couple of weeks when it came out, and I was okay with it. Like to me it did what I wanted it to do. I could get on the ship and I could fly from planet to planet and kind of explore. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest looking game, like there were some weird things, and what you could do was pretty limited compared to what you can do now. But at the time I was like, yeah, it's alright. Like I get why people are mad because of what was promised, but I wasn't too disappointed by it. This being said, every time they had an update on it, it just made the thing like better and better. So like, I would typically go back in the game when each new update to kind of check out the new stuff. But I haven't played it in a while, so like I'm completely out of the loop now. Like it feels like the way the game is now is like it's completely different than what it was at release. It's just it's a different game at this point.
Definitely.
I've never played it.
It's,
I don't know. What's it like?
I don't know if you'd like it or not.
For someone who's never played it, because not everyone who's listening, well, maybe most people know who it is, because I'm just like in the dark.
It's basically a sandbox game on the galactic scale.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the idea is that you basically play an explorer that goes between worlds, discovering what's on the world and building like bases and stuff like that there, and then
so like Minecraft,
more or less, but on a galactic scale.
Yeah.
Really.
So,
okay.
the graphics are 10 times better than what Minecraft will ever look like.
Oh, true.
The controls are a bit more difficult, and everything is procedurally generated. So there's billions and billions of planets. Nothing's ever the same.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
It is really cool.
You might get frustrated with the game the way you are, but you are more than welcome to try it on my account. All you got to do is sit back in the chair, use the controller, and you'll have fun.
It's like
maybe
in a way, it's kind of kind of Minecraft in the way that you don't have a goal when playing it. You don't have an objective. It's not like you have to do something or you have to go somewhere.
Well,
you can make your own goal. You can find like the center of the galaxy or whatever, or the universe. Like you can find those things. There is a little bit of an underlying story from what I can remember. You can find like some like monuments and stuff from aliens. You can learn.
That's how you learn the alien languages. And
you
stuff.
can learn all
What's
the different
rated?
Different languages.
What is it rated?
I'll tell you right now. I do know that if you start a new game, you do have to have the objective to repair the ship that you find.
Yeah. It's basically like the only thing that like the first, I would say the first few hours is kind of objective based, but it's more like of a tutorial kind of thing. It's like to kind of teach you how the
Okay.
game works.
Yeah.
No, it's
Kind of
like
teaches the basics as you get around.
because like you land like the way you start the game, you land on the planet, your ship, your starship doesn't work anymore.
Uh-oh, look at Jeff's mouth. He's
It
like,
is currently on sale for $30.
Okay, that's worth. I'd say that's worth
Now's
it.
the
for 30
time to
bucks.
get it. It is rated T for teen.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
there isn't any like bad language. There isn't real
No, it's
violence
all
or
porn.
anything. There is no porn or
Or
nothing.
alien language.
Right.
The reason
yeah.
why I ask is because lately my gaming experience, everything I play, my son wants to play. And I can't play anything without my son there because you got ahead of me, Mom. You have more stickers than I have, Mom. You're a higher level than I am, Mom.
Yeah, like she'll play Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. He'll want to play them. And they
Oh,
can't play together because all they're gonna do is argue about shit.
Oh, I got him real good while he was at Disney, because he went to Disney World for 10 days with his dad. So what I did was I played the Super Mario. What's the game called again?
Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, and I went through and I beat every damn world that had his Luigi flag on it with a Princess Peach. Take that!
She's
That's
not
the way
gonna
to-
give it all. No.
That's the way to punk your own kid right there.
That's funny.
And then, but the real kicker was when he got back, he didn't give a shit. He didn't want to play that game. He wanted to play the new game that I had.
Mhm.
They're both currently stuck on Disney's Magical Kingdom.
Disney Magical World number 2. It's amazing!
I have no idea what kind of game that is.
It's awesome.
Don't look at me. I've seen it. She bought a copy. I'm staying away from that. I got my own shit to play.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically, you make a little me character, and you are dropped into this town called Castleton, and you become
think
a
I've heard of this.
resident of Castleton. And it's like Mickey has a house, and Minnie has a house, and Goofy has a house, and Donald lives on a boat, and you just get absorbed into this world. And eventually you do more and more things, and you get given a restaurant, and you have to cook recipes, and you can decorate it, and more little mini worlds open up, like that take you into Lilo and Stitch and into the Little Mermaid and into Alice in Wonderland. And
So is it
Um,
like Kingdom Hearts without the Square Enix side of it?
No, it's not an RPG at all.
no, it's not. It's a one player. It's more of like, when I first saw it, I was like, is this a kids game? Like, it's rated E. I'm like, is this a game for like kids, like little kids? And I'm playing it and I'm like, oh my god, I have to make this costume, and I have to wear this, and I have to wear that, and I am just like loving it.
Okay.
Sounds like correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of sounds like it's kind of like slice of life in the sense of like Animal Crossing and that sort, just with
Kind
more
of.
more objectives type stuff going on.
Yeah, basically. So
Okay.
the primary thing is that you have to you're given these requests that you have to complete, and some of these goals that you have to do. And basically, here's the description of the game as it's posted. It says, immerse yourself in a world of magic in Disney Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition on Nintendo Switch. Make a new home in this enchanted Disney world and hang out with your favorite Disney characters. Explore Disney-themed worlds full of fun challenges, and live your dream life as you go on fun adventures, dance with Disney princesses, soar with Mickey in magical dream parades, and more. And it just opens up more and more and more and more and more things as you go through, and you collect like little stickers, and you collect ingredients in the world to make recipes in your restaurant, and you throw themed parties. Like, I just threw a Donald, no, was it Donald Duck? No. Zach threw a Beauty and the Beast party, and he got so excited because you get points. Like, the more pieces of furniture you have that are that theme, you get more points, and you catch fish and they give you stuff. And it's really like, you can pick it up and put it down. There's no time limit, though it does stay with the clock, because he was doing a Jack Skellington theme, and he he was like, I'm gonna go to Halloween. So he time traveled to October, and it's all decorated for Halloween.
Oh, that's kind
Like-
of cool.
Right now,
Yeah.
it's all decorated for Easter,
Right.
and
Mhm.
there's different things you can do, like, you know the magician from Fantasia?
Oh yeah, I forget his name, but yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I can never remember his name either.
Merlin?
Well, no,
Jan-
it's Jan
Jan-
something or the other. Well,
I forget his
he
name.
yeah, he has a tower,
Mhm.
and he makes all your magical wands, and you get a magic wand that's themed to where you're going.
Hmm.
So the one for Arendelle, which you take a boat to, which is so cool, you is like a snowflake, and each you do episodes instead of missions. And in some of the worlds, like, you have ghosts that you have to defeat, but the ghosts are these cute little blobs with like multiple colors, and some of them hop up and down, and some of them, you know, throw a little shield at you. That it's just really fun, and it retells all the stories. Like in Alice in Wonderland, when you go into that world, you're really tall, and you walk up to the table, and it says "Drink me." And you shrink all the way down, and you go through the door, and it's really, I got it from the library because I wanted something different. And I ended up playing it so much that I had to buy it. And I'm kind of mad because I bought it, it was like $50 because it just came out in December.
Right.
It's now currently for sale in the eShop for $29.99. 40% off.
Such its life.
It's a fun game.
Mhm.
It's made, of course, by Bandai Namco because they make all those cool things, and it
Mhm.
just
Interesting. I didn't know Bandai had a Disney license.
Uh,
I don't know.
Have they made any other Disney games before that?
Not that I recall. I mean, the
I
only
don't
other company I
believe
could think of that
so.
had it outside of Square was Capcom for a time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, it says they're the publisher, according to Nintendo.
Yeah, and the only reason Capcom had a Disney license was because of the Marvel games, right?
well, no, it was even before that because like the Capcom has aspect or access to the Disney license back like during the 90s, like 80s and 90s.
Oh, right, okay.
It's
Yeah.
cute. It's
Mhm.
like really cute. And one of the fun features is that in your cafe, you have employees that work there, and you dress them up with costumes that you make. And Daisy has the costume shop, and inside there is a character that you rarely see, which is the little girl chipmunk Clarice that Chip and Dale have always fought over for as long as Chip and Dale have been around. And she lets you change the colors of outfits. And then Minnie has a salon, which changes your hair, your style. You can have glitter, sparkles, glasses, no glasses, whatever. But as you level and get more stickers, you can make more things. And it's really neat. Like, they've added, like, I explained this to someone else, and they were like, this game is like for 5-year-olds. I'm like, no, it's not. It's so not, because there's like a lot of strategy involved with, like,
To be
you
fair,
have a goal
It kind
and
of
you have
sounds
to.
like it is.
Well, you know what? I'm having fun.
Which is great. Like,
It's-
don't get me wrong. Don't let me take that away from you. Like, it sounds
Yeah.
fun for you and for your kid. Like,
I was surprised that he would be into it.
It's personally
because-
something that, like, it's not
Yeah.
something I would be into personally, but
Yeah,
Mm.
I see that, but it's like happy.
yeah.
It's really
Mhm.
like it has the cool thing is it has some music in it that, like, you would hear in the Friendship Fair if you went to Disney World,
Hmm.
and it's just making, I don't know, it's keeping the Disney magic going.
Yeah, I was
And
about to say like
it's
it
cute.
seems. Yeah, I was about to say it sounds like for like somebody who's really big into Disney here for it kind of
Yeah.
hits the mark with being able to like relive the nostalgia and
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then present yourself in a way where you're actually getting that immersion with those universes and that sort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like,
no,
can
I can
run
definitely see
around
the
in a
appeal for it, yeah.
costume, and it's so
Mhm.
cute. They've got like dapper outfits and snazzy outfits, and all kinds of like cute formal. Like I got to go to a ball, but the thing is, so the ball was like DDR but for your fingers. So you like had to push like you had to be like A, quick
Gotcha.
A, short A, hold long, push A. It was like
Timed
A,
events.
A, B. Yeah, and I was like, oh, and I'm holding the controller, and Zach's like, what are you doing? I'm like, look at the screen. Look what I have to do. And there's other
Boy.
mini games within it, like in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You have to help each one of the 7 dwarfs who've lost something, and then each one has a mine that you go in and you dig gems.
I got you.
And so it would be like click, 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 and then you have to repeat it by hitting it. That. It's like there's a lot of extra things, like you can go surfing, but I'm rambling. It's really fun. If you want a quick little cute game that you can play with your family, or you just want to be a kid again and dress up like Mickey Mouse, you know, it's really cute. I love it.
To answer the question, Bandai Namco only made 2 games for Disney: Disney Magical World 1 and Disney Magical World 2.
Interesting.
Wow.
This game was originally out on the
3DS.
3DS.
Oh,
Yep. And it was a really popular
What's that?
game on the 3DS.
okay.
And they brought it to the
Oh.
Switch. It's very similar, but they've changed and updated quite a bit.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense.
It's awesome. I love it.
Nice. Nice.
Hmm.
Nice. That made me think of something I wanted to talk about, and I forget what it was.
What are you doing?
Um,
And apparently they are making a 3rd one, possibly.
Makes sense if it's getting enough popularity.
But
Yeah.
they're not sure yet. It's not clear.
yeah. Well, I mean, making games, especially making a Disney game, takes some time, right? Because when you have Disney involved in there, I can't even imagine. Which is
Licensing approvals, yeah.
which is what I wanted to talk about. I want to segue into it just really quick, because I thought about it as you were talking about the game, and kind of mad I didn't put it in the show notes. What do we think of Kingdom Hearts 4 being announced?
See you in 20 years. My first initial thought. Honestly, I'll admit I never finished 3. I need to go back and finish 3. But I'm curious to see where they take it. Though again, admittedly, the story at this point, like because of so many spin-offs that they've had, like I've kind of lost track of like where the whole universe is going itself.
Dude,
honestly.
I lost track after the first game. Like I was like, that's it, I'm done.
I remember you saying
Like-
that. Yep.
Okay, like for those who don't know us or don't know me personally, I'm really not a fan of the Kingdom Hearts series. I'll put it out there.
Me either. And I'm a Disney sold like
Um,
my soul is Disney, and I cannot stand the Kingdom Hearts franchise. It makes me want to scream.
Like I understand why the fans are fans. Like I get it. One of the reasons why I don't like the Kingdom Hearts series is, aside from the fact that I feel that the Square Enix worlds don't mix well with the Disney worlds, to me it doesn't work, but it's just that the guy who makes them, Tetsuya Nomura, I'm really not a fan of him as a game director. Like to me, Tetsuya Nomura is to video games what Zack Snyder is to Hollywood films. That's kind of how I look at it. He's not a good storyteller. He's not a good game maker. He's a great artist. He can make some really cool looking things. But when it comes to making a story, there's nobody home. And this is what I've been saying for literally 20 years, because they just celebrated the 20 years of Kingdom Hearts by announcing Kingdom Hearts 4, is that the story makes zero sense, and they've reached a point where I am convinced that Nomura himself has no freaking idea what he's doing or where he's going with it. I think he's he is lost. He's in his own sauce right now. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Like Nomura, like he's definitely somebody who's stepped out of his role, more or less, you know. And I agree with you on that part of it too, because like I forget some of the other stuff that he's directed for Square Enix, but at the same time, like
Well, he
I
did.
see.
He started Final Fantasy 15 at the time.
Okay.
He stopped that because he went back to work on Kingdom Hearts 3, which is why Kingdom Hearts 3 took almost 10 years to come out.
It's ridiculous.
He worked on. I want to say he worked on 13. I don't think he directed 13 though.
I'm not sure, but I
Sure.
think he did have a tie-in with that as well.
Like he was in there, like just by the design, you know he was in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So it worked on 15 and the whole Kingdom Hearts series, obviously, and he did 7 remake as well. He worked on that, and same thing as with 15. He didn't finish it because he was working both on the remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 at the same time as he was doing that, and then he was like, well, I guess I should go back to working on Kingdom Hearts 3 if I want the game to come out one day. So he basically left the 7 remake to go to Kingdom Hearts 3, which is like one of the reasons why I'm not interested in Final Fantasy 7 remake as well, is that to me it's too little too late. They're doing it episodic, like they're doing several parts of it. We just got the first part like 7 years later. Second part, we have no idea where it's gonna be. They had freaking DLC before they made a second game again, because of course. It's like, nah, I can't.
It's yeah, Nomura's direction and his tie-ins with this stuff here for it. Again, like I said, he's stepping out of his role. Like the man is a fantastic artist, a fantastic character designer. You know, like the man art-wise is perfection for that company. You know, he really needs to be just sticking to just that. The fact that they put him into like a director role, like that sort of I've never fully agreed with that aspect. Like, and it just feels like.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to Square Enix production of like stuff like Sinstead, right? The only thing that I will say that even interests me at all at this point is 14, and I'm not even playing 14.
Yeah.
And it's just, and the only reason why is because you can tell the developers for that game care the hell out of it. They love the hell out of it. They really care about the player base, so they really put into a lot of consideration for it. Whereas everything else that I've seen from Square Enix when it comes to their, flagship franchises and that sort, it just feels like it's just jumbled. Like I haven't really cared about any other of the mainstream Final Fantasies in years. Nor have I had any desire to play them.
Like I basically gave up on Square Enix after Final Fantasy 13, which to me was and still is to this day the worst in the franchise, I think. And I know some people like it, and that's fine. You can like what you want to like.
It's like a take it or leave it thing.
13 is the worst. It's like it reached a point where I think they were just kind of running out of ideas, and at the same time they were trying to follow the trend of what was going on with the more action-based combat and stuff like that. And like Final Fantasy 13 is basically just a huge fashion show runway for Tetsuya Nomura. That's what it is. The design is great. Like the game looks good, but that's all there is to it. It's like, so I lost faith in Square Enix making their own games like that. Since then, they have published some really good games though. Since then, well, they've published the Tomb Raider games reboots, which are really really good. I really like those. The Nier games, Nier Automata and stuff like that. Nier Automata being one of my top 5 games, if not one of my top 3 of all time. Like they've published some really really good games, but as far as games that they've developed, like I have not been impressed in a long time. And so that's why when I look at Kingdom Hearts 4, that's funny because I got a text from Amber telling me about it as I was watching the reveal trailer for it, and her reaction was, I don't know how I feel about how it looks. And that's what made me interested in the game, actually, the way it looks. I was like, finally, 20 years later, they're not trying to make a game to cater to 6-year-old Disney fans. Nothing wrong against those people. Don't get mad.
No, I hear you.
But
because
it's like
that's one of the biggest reasons why I have a problem with the earlier Kingdom Hearts.
it's like I actually like how it looks more mature. And there's a change in engine. Obviously, they did them doing that in Unreal, clearly. And it looks better than anything they've done before. Granted, no, it's not like I don't think we've seen actual real gameplay. It's a lot of CGI, a lot of pre-rendered stuff. So it's to take with a grain of salt. But yeah, like I feel like I'm more interested in it than I was before. Am I gonna play it? Definitely not. I'm not, because if I want to play it and understand what the hell is going on, that means gonna have to play the other ones before that, and I still won't understand what's going on because nobody does.
No, and I'll tell you, I've always been a Disney fan for games. We were doing some cleaning today, and we were digging out my Sega, and I have still in the box Mickey's World of Illusion, which was one of my favorite Disney games ever. You get to be Mickey and Donald, and you're trying to save the world, and you're in an illusion. It's an awesome game.
Yeah.
And I remember
game though.
Oh God, yes. I
remember that game. It was hard.
Yeah, and I remember that I still have the booklet inside, and it has cheat codes.
Nice.
Because when you'd get to a certain point, they'd give you a code if you wanted to go back.
Yeah.
And I have never beaten that game because I could not get past the final level. But anyways, that's a side note. I remember when Kingdom Hearts first came out, and I was really excited. And then I was like, what the fuck is this? Who gave Mickey Mouse a sword? Like, what? It didn't make any sense.
It's a keyblade.
Ooh. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. Whoop-de-doo. Did I use it right, honey? Okay, good. But yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. And it still doesn't make any sense to me.
Like no.
Let the franchise die.
Like the thing is, it's not going to die. Like it will.
No,
it'll
be like
die
Final
for
Fantasy.
long
You'll have
time.
Kingdom Hearts 55.
Yeah, not for real. It's just gonna keep going forever, because it makes a shitload of money, and it has like a huge, very strong fan base to it, which is fine. Again, I don't want to take away from people who enjoy that series. It's not for me, and I don't think that that's something I tell my girlfriend a lot. I was like, I want to see one person in a fandom who can explain to me what the hell's going on like I'm a 5-year-old. I dare anybody I will pay someone to do that for me. And I can guarantee you that's never going to happen.
Hold on, let me check out Fiverr real quick, see if there is one.
The challenge has been laid on the table.
But and the reason why I say that's never gonna happen is because depending on who you talk to, you're gonna get a different version. Nobody understands or know what the fuck's going on. Even people who've played all of them, even the bad ones on the 3DS, or like the card game ones, or like the visual novels ones, which are really, really bad. It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. It's so convoluted. It's kind of like another franchise I can kind of love to hate on. It's kind of like the Zelda franchise. People who try to make timelines and shit like that. I got Jeff's attention there. That's good.
I thought he nodded off. I don't know.
But it's like the Zelda franchise, but more extreme. More. It's like people trying to make timelines, and that meme of the guy on the board, from that show. This is literally every single Kingdom Hearts fan when you talk to them.
Now, the thing about Zelda is that the Hyrule Historia actually released an actual timeline for every game, I think, up until Skyward Sword. Yeah, Skyward Sword.
But my counter argument to that every time is that they've done that too late. it's basically them trying to make sense of the games they made before. Because I can
Oh, yeah, of
guarantee
course.
you, when they made the games, they didn't have that timeline in mind. It's kind
course
of
not.
like, but to be fair, like, I mean, it's good effort. Like, I can get behind that. But when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, it's like, I feel that literally Tetsuya Nomura and his team, they're just like throwing shit on the page and see what sticks. It's like, YOLO,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's make a game. Oh, that sounds cool, let's do it. It's like, oh, but
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense. That's okay, we'll make it make sense at some point, maybe.
Mhm.
Like, that's Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell. Like,
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that part of it there, because I mean, there's really not a timeline set in mind in motion here for it, because the games that expand like so many different editions and they have a continual story for it here, with the intent of a continual story, have that in mind as they make those editions, you know. Whereas with like Kingdom Hearts here for it, everything's like, okay, we're gonna pick these random worlds right here that people like. We're gonna
Yeah.
put them into here for it, kind of mix up their stories and somehow get the character involved in it here for it. You know, it doesn't matter if they played this world already before in a previous game. Let's go ahead and just throw it in here. Just do this and
Right.
that. You
It's
know,
like,
and
why
it's
is Olaf going to be in this? What part does Olaf have to play in Kingdom Hearts?
just a
Like Anna and
Sorry.
Elsa and no.
I
well. You
mean,
see, the thing,
like there's a base story to that, right? Like the
Yeah.
base, like the base underlining theme for it makes sense
Mhm.
somehow, kind of. It's that, you know, the Square Enix guys,
Mhm.
they're in their own world, and then shit happens from that bad place, Kingdom Hearts things, the darkness. It's always dark versus light, no, bad versus evil, and that somehow corrupts the Disney worlds, which are no on a separate kind of plane of existence, right? It's like multiverses kind of thing, and
Oh Lord.
so this is why you end up in the Disney areas, because they're following the bad guys and trying to save those areas from the bad guys.
Well, if that's the premise, then anything is fair game.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they can get away with putting any kind of Disney franchise in it, because they can just be
Right.
like, oh, the bad guys arrived there. We need to go there now. That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
Lonnie, that is not cool.
Yeah.
That is
It-
it. And that's the base of it. Which in itself, that's why I'm saying, in itself, it kind of makes sense, and that's okay to use that for that, because that's kind of the only way you can make it work.
Mm.
But the thing is, the game's story doesn't focus on that. It uses that as it goes. It's almost like a gameplay thing, and you get to play through the stories of those Disney areas. You know, so like when you go into the Aladdin world, you kind of get to play through the Aladdin story, which is kind of cool. Why not? But the actual story, the Square Enix guys' story, that's the one that makes zero sense. That's
Yeah.
the one that just loses itself, like within the first 3 hours of
And-
the game.
And it's because like it seems like with like because like I've played through the first two, I haven't played any of the side stuff, and I played a little bit of the third, right? And it feels like every single time you get into it, like it's like, okay, in this first one we're gonna fight the Heartless. The second one we're gonna fight these nobodies that came out of nowhere. Third one is just like we're gonna revisit all this stuff there, and people just suddenly coming back after so much time, and it's just like, you know, they just keep ramping it and ramping and ramping it and adding more and more back end stuff to this here for it. It's just like, okay, so we're fighting the somebodies and everybody's the mindless, the soulless, the you know, the hobos with shotguns and you know,
Right.
it's like
And
my
a
god.
partridge in a pear tree.
Right, and you're this character, but somehow like you lost your heart, so you're nobody is a somebody now, and it's like
I think they're
Yeah.
just grasping at straws because they understand. This is the other thing. They understand that Kingdom Hearts is a key to merch.
You know,
yeah.
They have a huge
yeah,
amount
definitely.
for merchandise, and it's like ridiculous that
You know-
there's so much merchandise for it. So they'll just pop on a new game and they can recolor brand whatever the merchandise.
But then
is.
at the same time, like that's not even like a big argument. They make a freaking game every 6 years.
Yeah. So
Like
You know,
like they just celebrated 20 years, and they just announced the fourth one. Like, it's not even
Yeah.
a game every 5 years.
Well, every
Yeah.
6, so they're getting a new generation of people.
This is insane.
It is. You made the comparison about Tetsuya Nomura earlier, right?
Mhm.
I would compare him to M. Night Shyamalan with this crap.
Yeah.
Always with the
Yes!
twists. Always with the twists.
Yeah,
It's like,
but
hey,
see,
we're gonna throw this at you, but like all of a sudden,
like I compare him to Zack Snyder because I do believe that Zack Snyder is a very good visual effects guy.
Yeah.
He understands how the camera works and he understands how to make really good shots. And he used to work in VFX and in advertising, right? Before being a director and a writer. And like, so that's why, like, visually the Snyder movies look good. And that's why I compare him, Nomura to Snyder, is because as an artist, Nomura is amazing. I really like him, and like you said, as an artist, as a character designer, all those things. He's done a fantastic job over the years. It's just as a game director, like Snyder as a film director is just, there's nobody home there, in my opinion. Like, I think Nomura is a terrible game director because there's no fucking idea what he's doing, and he doesn't know how to tell a story. The same way as Zack Snyder as a film director has no idea how to tell a story on how to make a movie.
I can
So,
get behind that.
any other thoughts on that before we kind of slide
Yeah,
forward?
we should, I just wanted that to be like.
I think it's awesome, though. It was a
5
great
minutes,
connection.
But yeah,
Mhm.
I thought it was.
So where are
I
we
thought it was
at?
interesting. But yeah, I don't know.
Kirby.
Oh yeah, Kirby.
That new Kirby game, I gotta tell you. So I downloaded the demo because Zach was driving me nuts about it. Going, Mommy, I want this game. Can we please try it? Can I try it, please?
Mom.
Mommy. And
And
I watched him. He wouldn't let
Mama,
me play with
Mama.
him. I watched him do the demo, okay?
Mhm.
Kirby ate a car. What the fuck? Kirby ate a car.
Not gonna lie.
Kaba, you know what I'm talking about here.
Oh, I know.
He ate a vending machine. He ate a
Mhm.
car.
Not-
He ate a cone. What the fuck, Kirby?
I mean, that's what Kirby does, right? He just eats anything.
But he's never eaten this type of stuff and actually turned into the object. Anyways,
So,
I
like-
was just dumbfounded.
So like the thing about Kirby and the Forgotten Land, because I mean I've gotten it too, and my son and I were both looking forward to playing it because I like the Kirby games. I haven't played a whole lot of them, but like the earlier ones back, like on the Super Nintendo, like the Kirby Superstar is one of my favorite games. Just because it's just mindless fun, just exploring, just dealing with like minor like platforming and stuff like that.
And he's like,
But yeah, one of the big things about it is that one, it's the first, it's another take on a 3D Kirby that plays kind of similar to like the Super Mario 3D World, or 3D Land, or whatever the last one was.
3D World, yeah.
Yeah, 3D World. So it plays similar to that kind of format with the kind of camera angles and that sort, but it still keeps the feel of like general Kirby games, like how the 2D platformers are, and they do have that feature what they call Big Mouth mode, which allows him to inhale like larger objects and become those objects. Which before it's always been just like little enemies that he would suck up and then he would take their powers and stuff like that there. But now he's got these other parts of it there, and it adds more to the puzzle impact and stuff like that. So, but it's a fun little game. Like I've been enjoying it. Like my son and I played it for a little bit there. We got through the first set of like stages and that sort, and it's just it's kind of a breath of fresh air with the series, to be honest.
How did
'cause I
you
mean, like-
manage with the two of you playing together? Because I
We
tried.
haven't yet. We haven't
Okay,
yet.
so I gotta tell you, if you play together,
Mm-hmm.
Kirby can do everything.
Mhm.
Player 2 can do Jack.
Yeah, because you're playing Bandana Waddle Dee. If
You
Bandana
can't
Waddle
do
Dee.
Jack.
No, all you have is a spear. You can just poke things.
No, that's it. You can't eat anything. You can't do
I-
anything.
I was kind of upset because like in Superstar, you can actually make your companion. Your companion is based off the power that you have at that point. So I was kind of hoping. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, but I thought it would be similar too.
Yeah.
And of course I was like, Zach, can Mummy try being Kirby? And he goes, no. And then I said, well, can I have a turn at Kirby? He goes, yeah, when it's your turn. I'm like, dude.
So like, what's the rule? Like when he dies, or when you go to another stage?
The demo only has three things, and it gives you easy mode and hard mode. I wasn't ready to shell out the $60 yet, honestly.
I got you.
I thought about it, and then I was like, and Jarv's like, you want to go halvesies on it? I'm like, not yet. Not
I got you.
yet. But he's played the demo. He also enjoys, there's a free version you can play on the Switch of Kirby, and you do different missions and stuff like that. It's really meant for you to spend money to buy like apples and that stuff, but he doesn't care. He just likes to go eat things and fight things.
Right.
But we'll probably eventually own it.
If I had a Switch, that would probably be one of the games I would play actually, because it does look pretty fun.
There's a lot of Switch games that you'd play, Flo, if you had a Switch.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not convinced.
I'm not.
Crossing!
I'm not gonna poke the dead horse here. I'm not gonna do it.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna.
Let's not. We only have like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah,
One of these things. Because we all have Switches and you don't.
Yeah.
Well, I will say,
Anywho, Kirby's great.
yeah, it is. It is a fun game. It really is. I've been enjoying a lot of it. So.
I agree with you that it's a breath of fresh air too. It is totally a breath of fresh air. Yeah, that's his Switch. He's loving his Switch. So.
Oh, Sarah's got the Switch in the room, so I can't get her.
We have 4 of them in this house and 5 when Zach is here.
Jeez. Okay.
I bought him his own for Christmas. Well, Santa gave it to him for Christmas.
Yeah.
The Jolly Man did it. I got you.
Because he was always wanting mine, so.
Don't blame me. I might have to do that with mine too, because we got Sarah and I shared a one, and we have an account on there for Gabe, but Gabe doesn't really play it much. But we're thinking about getting Minecraft for it because he keeps stealing Sarah's phone because she has Minecraft on there.
Right.
So the Switch version of Minecraft is much different.
It is much different. Okay.
Zach is not, so he's a master at playing it on the tablet or on the iPad, and he's learning how to play it on the Xbox. But playing it on the Switch, because Jarf bought it for him for Christmas, 2 years ago? And he really struggles with the manipulation of the blocks and how to build things, and there's there's not as much free building as directive, and there's some co-op mode, and so he hasn't picked it back up. He said he didn't like it.
Okay, see, that's what I'm looking into right now.
I would really like, what I do before I'm going to buy a game or whatever, see if there's a demo, which there isn't, and 2, watch some YouTube videos and see what other people think about it.
All right,
because
I know.
Kava, do you still have your 360?
Yeah, I do. It's in storage at the moment. It's downstairs.
Okay, well, I was about to say, does Gabe have a 3DS?
He used to.
Never mind then. I was about to say, because you can get it, try it on the 360 first, but if you don't have it hooked up, never mind. Buy it for the PC. Let him try on the PC, or try it on the 3DS.
We see the problem that I have is that we got him a Chromebook, so he has a Chromebook, but it's not available on the Chromebook, at least to my knowledge, anyway. So I haven't found any way I can download it.
If you can get access to Stadia on the Chromebook, you can play it through Stadia.
Through Stadia? Okay, I'll have to look into that, because we need another version that's going to have the creative mode, because that's what he really enjoes about it.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Zach is sold out about the creative mode.
That's the best part of Minecraft. Like when I play Minecraft, that's the only way I play it. It's just going creative mode.
I want to try to get somehow to try. I think I'm going to have to buy a copy of it for the PC because Zach really needs to learn how to use a mouse, how to click and hold, how to click and drag, some of the computer skills. And he loves playing it on the iPad. He'll watch a YouTube video and build what they're building on the YouTube video on his in his world.
Gabe's been doing a thing where he's been looking at other games, because he plays a lot of mobile games. And one of the things he's been doing recently is he's been taking the idea of different stages in some of the other games that he plays and rebuilding them in Minecraft.
Yep.
It was
Zach's
actually pretty
done that
cool
too.
because
That's pretty
it's been
cool.
pretty cool watching. Yeah, it is because he said like so he'd be like, Dad, take a look at this. And, like it's like so this is stage 1. I got all this here from this game, and I got like stage 2, and like it'll be all completely different and everything. And he's so methodical about it. He's just like when he does it, he's just like zones in. He's like, yeah.
That is
Like
awesome.
so I mean, it's great for me because I mean, knowing that he's on the spectrum, it's still a little bit hard for him to get a grasp on some stuff.
Yeah.
And just seeing him build in Minecraft has been just absolutely phenomenal. Like it
Yep.
really like pulls at my heartstrings, man. It really does.
Doesn't it?
And
Same with Zach.
he's
Zach's
so
on the
involved.
spectrum. Zach's also
Mhm.
on the spectrum, and he finds like when there's chaos around, or he's had a rough day, or he's had a really hectic day, he's like, "Can I play Minecraft?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he'll sit with his tablet, or well, my iPad or his iPad. He has 2 different ones, and he will just sit and he'll just build and build, and he'll go, "Look, look, look." And he showed it to me once, and he had built a gigantic Yoshi.
Oh
And
wow!
he had built a Mario next to it, and he had built a Luigi and a Bowser and all these, and they looked really good. They looked
Oh
like
man, that's
And-
awesome.
yeah, he has I think about 150 different worlds
Mm.
on his tablet, because he'll start one and then he'll go away from it. And he'll start another one and he'll do another one, and he does some
That's
of
so
the
cool.
educational worlds where
Mhm.
like there's one where you can be a dog, take care of dogs. Or there's some where there's like a zoo, or I logged him into one where you're walking around Washington DC, and like you can see all the buildings, and it's really really neat, you know.
That's pretty
he's,
awesome.
He's
honestly.
starting though to push the limit and want to do survival and kill zombies and all of that stuff, and I'm just like, how did you? I picked the tablet up because I was hearing like gunfire. He had downloaded a mod that allowed him to shoot the zombies. I was like, no.
Oh wow, wow.
Yep. That was yeah, no. But you know, Minecraft is freeing. He wants me to learn how to play it, so I think I might have to.
Yeah, same. Well, I played it a little bit before, but nowhere near to the degree that like what Gabe does. But yeah.
No, but I hear you with it. Like it just gets you. It like gets your heart. You're like, wow. How did you do that? Well, I just saw it on the TV, or I look. It's right there in the book. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. So has anyone been playing anything else before I talk about what I've been playing?
Yeah, I went back into Overwatch.
No.
Yes, I did. I know.
Really?
The reason why is because the first closed beta for Overwatch 2 comes out in about a week and a half now. I'll be right back. Okay. And you know, I've been a long time Overwatch player. I've been playing the first one since the first beta back then, and I kind of have that love-hate relationship with this game, especially the last couple of years, because we haven't had a lot of content in it. But since they've announced Overwatch 2, the closed beta is coming up, the Overwatch League is going to be played on Overwatch 2 on the special build for it. And so I was like, okay, I need to get back into the game because I don't remember how to play the game very well. So that's what I've been doing. I've been playing Overwatch almost every day for the past couple of weeks, getting ready for the beta.
Nice.
Getting ready for the beta, so when it comes out on the 26th, I can just
You'll be good to go.
I'll be good to go. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I'm really excited for that beta of Overwatch 2. They just revealed a new hero that's going to be released with it.
I was getting ready to ask what you thought about it.
She looks like a whole lot of fun.
She does.
She looks broken as fuck.
I bet she's got one hell of a backstory.
She's Canadian.
I know. When I saw her, I was like, "Hello."
So yeah, she looks great. So like, she's really good for many reasons. So first of all, it's the first new hero we've had in almost 2 years. So that's pretty good in itself.
Right.
She's Canadian, so that's also very good. So we don't have a Canadian hero in there. And she's a black woman, which is also very good because we don't have that in the game. And Yeah, and she comes with the first beta of Overwatch 2, so brand new game, new in quotes, um, game with new game modes. It's gonna be big system changes. It's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. The hero herself, she looks broken as fuck, but in a good way. And I think that's what the game needs. Something that just
Good.
changes the game, like,
Shake it up.
yeah, that really shakes it up, like, really, in a strong way.
Mhm.
And she's gonna have to be tuned down eventually, obviously. No doubt about this, because she can do a lot of stuff. That's one of the criticisms that a lot of people have about the newer generation of heroes that were added to Overwatch, which is fair, is that because every time you have a new character, a new hero, you want that character to be played by people, right? So you need to make the character interesting and to have a good kit. So you have that kind of power creep that happens, right? So like if you look at heroes like Soldier 76 or Cassidy when the game came out, where their kit is run around and just pew people in the head. And then
Pew 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 pew.
and then you look at heroes like Sojourn that's coming out with the Overwatch 2, who can slide, jump, who was like an AoE slow damage effect thing, was a rail gun, and all those things, and it's like, okay, so like I'm just sitting here with my Cassidy going pew pew while she's just jumping around everywhere. So like there's a little bit of power creep, but at the same time, I think the game needs that, because
Yeah.
the last 2 years have been very, very stale, to say the
Blah.
least.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I've never picked up Overwatch because I couldn't get into it, and I think the type of gamer that I am is I don't even know anymore. But I remember when it came out, like I was really into WoW, and I had a really hard time with like muscle memory and changing like how controls are, and I couldn't do it. I know many people that were like, "This is the best game ever. I'm never playing WoW again," and like dove right into it. I
Yeah.
couldn't. I tried. I couldn't.
A lot of people when the first Overwatch came out, a lot of people came from WoW. A lot of people came
Oh
from
yeah.
League. A lot of people came from a lot of different MOBAs and that type of game, because it has those aspects to it, right? You have the hero classes. You have it's very very ability based, more so than aim based. It's a first person shooter, but you can play it without necessarily being a super gamer first person shooter guy. Like you don't need to have perfect aim and being able to click heads all the time to actually be able to play the game, because there are characters that allow you, like if you have potato aim, you can just play something else that don't require as much aim and still have an impact on the game, right? And I think that's why the game was so popular when it came out, because it was so accessible to a whole different kind of people, right?
Yep.
From super hardcore gamer like me to the more casual people who just don't necessarily enjoy FPS games usually, but they got attracted by the world, by the way it looks, by the characters and all those things, right? Because it has that Blizzard look to it that other FPS don't necessarily have. But no, as the game progressed, the past couple of years have been very underwhelming. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for Overwatch 2. We don't have a date yet for proper release, but the first beta comes on April 26th. The Overwatch League starts the weekend after that, and this is
Very nice.
This is only the first beta. So my guess is, and again, it's just me guessing, we didn't actually get a word on that, is that this one's a closed beta, so it's invite only. You have to sign up for it.
Did you sign up for it?
I signed up within the first 2 minutes that it was announced.
Well, obviously. Awesome.
Of course.
That's so good.
I literally have the Overwatch team Twitter on speed dial on my phone, so every time they fart, it says on my phone.
Awesome.
And
So you've been playing lots of Overwatch.
so I've been playing a lot of Overwatch 2 to catch up. Yeah, that's basically it.
I did a bad thing. Something I said I never would do. I played WoW. I resubbed and I played, I want to say, was it in December? No. Yes, I resubbed in December. I needed to lose myself in a game due to personal stuff, and I went head first into WoW again for a while. I'm not playing now because I got bored with it really quickly. But one of the things I discovered was there is this super cool mount named Dead Blanchy that is a fire blood, like a blood red flying dead horse.
Okay.
It is the coolest mount I ever found, and it was one of the stupidest ones to farm, because you actually have to farm this fucker.
Yeah.
You have to stand in one spot. It takes 6 days to get this thing. Okay, 6 days. And you should get all the things you need in advance. You have to give it a handful of oats on day 1. You have to have a grooming brush day 2. You have to give it horseshoes on day 3. You have to give it clean water on day 4. On day 5, you have to give it a saddle blanket. And on day 6, you have to give it apples. But get this. This mount spawns for 10 minutes. No, not 10 minutes. It spawns for 5 minutes only every 2 hours. And it's dependent upon your server when that resets. So I was like, okay, so if I found it once, then I timed it so that you could know, okay, maybe tomorrow it'll be here in this exact spot. I literally farmed this fucker non-stop. And then when I finally got it, I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And then Jarf said, wait, it can fly? I'm like, what? And it's just, it's interesting because when I say you have to stand in this one particular spot, it's, if you don't, it's in Revendreth, the horse takes off running, and then you've missed your chance. So you have to stand where it's going to spawn and block it from running, or else you're fucked. You can't.
So
That's one of the...
Yeah.
in the end, though, was it worth it?
Yes, because hardly anyone has it, and whenever I would go anywhere,
I can say I can't say I'm shocked, because knowing this, I'd be like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm turning off this game, never touching it ever again. Like, to me, this is the most ridiculous thing I've heard in years, and I play Destiny.
Yeah, well, the thing that you discover is that there's a community of people that you build this with. So the first day, there was another there's always someone standing in that spot. Like, if you go there and you ask, when was the last time you saw Blanchy? Or, oh, my guildie said he was up an hour ago. He should be here soon. Or, and I ended up with a list of people on my friends list that whenever I was going to do Dead Blanchy, I'd ask them, have you seen Blanchy today? Have you this, whatever? And I would always look in the looking for group, and normally there was, Dead Blanchy. But whenever Blanchy would pop, most people, if they're kind, would pop a group up to get people to pull server jump to get to Blanchy. But a lot of people didn't know about the mount, or they, like you, had given up. The mount looks, I don't know what to compare it to.
Like,
it is
beautiful. It sounds cool, and like from a community point of view, like what you described, it's kind of cool. It brings people together. But like me as a player, it's like I got other shit to do, man. Like,
see, I didn't have other shit to do, so I kind of made every part of my daily stuff.
But it's
was,
like,
I'm gonna go get Blanchy today.
Having something you need to do daily is one thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of games do that. You have your dailies, you have your weeklies. Like that's fine. But something like that is so specific, and it's like basically sneeze and you miss it. Good luck, GG. See you tomorrow. It's like, no.
Yep.
It's like, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna make my schedule and decide my life around those 5 minutes that the thing spawns. It's like, Blizzard, get your head out of your ass and respect my time, please.
I knew you would
It's
think this,
yeah.
Flo, and I got it for a couple different reasons. One, because it looks fucking cool.
I
Mhm.
hope
If you
so.
Google it and look it up, Dead Blanchy. It is fire. It's like blood red, translucent. The eyes glow red. It like
Mhm.
has a steam effect. It's just like holy shit.
It's the thing with like games like this here with WoW especially is that like outside of like some of the more obvious aspects like people trying to get into raiding, get into arenas, stuff like that. It's the
Yeah.
collecting part of it. Yeah, and it's something that it's accessible to everybody, but really only obtainable by those dedicated to it.
Yep.
Well,
You know, and that's the thing about it is that like
Yeah,
yeah,
That doesn't do it
yeah,
justice.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
agree with you. Exactly.
very
It's like
nice one.
anybody can get it. Yeah. That is
Mhm.
badass.
It reminds me of the Star Horse in Destiny, but in red.
it does. I can see that.
And
But
like I
mhm.
was in the middle. I was flying through somewhere. I can't remember where. Oh, I was in Stormwind. Yes.
Mhm.
And I got like 5 private messages. What are you writing? What the fuck is it? Like, where did you get that? What is that? And I'm like, and I
It's
said,
funny.
Google Dead Blanchy. Good luck.
Yeah.
it's
But
it's
but yeah,
yeah.
to your point, Ken, I do
Mhm.
agree that it's cool to have that kind of stuff though for the more dedicated players.
Mhm.
Like
I was just
Like-
bored working from home and needed something to do.
I'm not necessarily
Mhm.
saying it's a bad thing. It's not something that me as a player I'm interested.
Oh,
in.
certainly,
Because, right?
certainly, no.
I
Yeah, no.
I do like though when some games do things like that. You know, for the more interested and more dedicated community. Something a bit special, right? To because they're in the game anyway, right? So it's like
Mhm.
may as well give them something for it, right?
Yeah. I know with Destiny, just to kind of put it in comparison, because I understand. I know you're just talking for yourself here for it, but like I like one of the things that they try to do in some aspects and sometimes is that they'll have those hidden like exotics and stuff like that there.
Mm.
Like in D1, right around the time of the Taken King, they had what was it? I forget what it was called. It was like Black Spindle sniper rifle or something like that there.
Like the
And
whisper. What they
yeah,
renamed it as,
actually it's pretty much is the Whisper to be honest. But the thing about it was is that it was so hidden away that nobody really knew about it. What happened was is that it was a story mission on the moon or something like that there, if I remember correctly. And instead of going the particular way you're supposed to go, they went a different way that wasn't supposed to be open, but opens up if you get there fast enough or something like that. And if you go that route, it takes you through what was considered the strike for that. And if you complete it, you get rewarded that sniper. And it was just something that the community had never experienced before that. It was just like, holy crap. Like, what the heck is this? Where did this come from? And
Right.
Bungie didn't even allude to it. It was just like, after it came out, I was like, hey, yeah, we threw something special.
which is
And
There's
that's
another-
why...
which
Yeah,
is which
it's
yeah.
is
those
great.
bits and pieces that get you. Like there's
But it's-
another mount too,
But,
like
but,
that.
but at least not that part with the Black Spinner is more interactive. Like it's like you need to find out about it, but then you get to do something. Like in the case of that
Right.
mount, it's literally just you showing up at a very specific time at a very specific spot with a very
Well,
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
great,
to do
great.
stuff in advance because you have to collect all the items.
But you have
And
to.
in
but
order to
that's-
collect all the
But
items,
that's the
you have
thing.
to do
It's like
stuff.
to get the thing. It's like okay, you have to go get the items, but then you just need to stand in that one spot and wait for the thing to spawn, and then you're done for the day. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, there's
Right?
another mount where pretty much where you have to like follow a particular path. Like you go through this area and if you have to turn right, then left, then right, then left, and then you get to the end and you get this other mount that's like really beautiful, but if you hadn't looked it up, you really wouldn't
Right.
know how to
It's
get
just
it.
harder to get it. Yeah. But see, like
But yeah,
that to me is better. I feel that's a better way to do it.
yeah.
Having like some kind of actual puzzle that is not relying.
yeah.
And that's not like relying on you making your schedule for the day around it.
What's that
Yeah,
mount, Jarf, that
right.
I have that you don't have because you gave up on the puzzle? I have it. You don't. You gave up.
Was it one of those ones where you had to go like to different locations to do the
It's the
puzzle
one where
there?
you gotta go through the maze and all that bullshit. Yeah. It's the Nightmare Unicorn. I don't remember the name of it though.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's not as bad as when we did the
Oh,
hive mind. The hive
I know which
mind
one
can
you're talking.
suck it. The hive mind
Yeah.
can kiss my ass.
Lucid Nightmare.
Lucid
Yes.
Nightmare. Yeah, okay, I
I
remember
have
that
a
one.
beautiful lucid nightmare.
The Hive
Um,
Mind, you had to have that group of like 4 or 5 people to go through, and all of your characters in your account can have the mount, but nobody can write in it unless they were the character that did the group with you. So
Like,
It's-
yeah, it's weird. Wow.
It's
Long story short, I walked away from WoW.
Mm.
Done.
gotcha. But yeah, the thing I'll touch this. This is probably the last thing I'll say with it too. Just that, like there was a mixture of different ways to get certain things in the game here for it. That's just one of them. And that's again just for the type of gamer that would be okay with doing something like that there. But they had other ones similar to like what I was mentioning with the Black Spindle, where you
Right.
just end up in different areas, that sort. There was just a ton of different things you could do. Like when I played through Shadowlands when it first came out there for it, like there was some things I stumbled upon just by just exploring and that sort, where I got special mounts or special pets and stuff like that there. And that's part of one of the things that's like nice about that particular game was that you could find and get access to all these cosmetic things or stuff like that there that may be unique for you because they come about different ways. And that's just some of the things that they do for you. Is that some of the harder ones rely on you doing different tasks or different things, whether it be repetitive or whether it be beating a challenge or
Right.
something like that there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just gives you an aspect of like how you can collect.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so I mean, granted, I'm with you. I probably wouldn't have done that one myself either, but that's how that
weird.
game works.
Right.
And then we get to. I think Flo would enjoy this type of game. Cozy Grove.
Right. That's funny. We started with that, so let's end with that.
Sure.
So Cozy Grove, if you're not familiar with it, it's a small game by Spry Fox. It's not very expensive. I want to say at most it's like $10 or $15 on the eShop, but it's on sale very regularly. And it's a game about camping on a haunted island, and you are a spirit scout and you wander the island every day and you find new little secrets and you help the ghosts. And the biggest thing is though, once you only have a certain number of ghosts that you can help every day. Once that's done, there's nothing else to do. And there's no point in playing anymore. So you may play, depending on how fast it takes you to do it, you may spend an hour doing it, you may spend 2 hours, you may spend 30 minutes. It really all depends. And so it's definitely an easy pick up, put down game. The cool thing is, you can get this on your phone, you can get this on the Switch, you can get it on Xbox, it's like on Steam.
Yeah.
I have been playing it on the PC, I've been streaming it a little bit, and I have it on my Switch. It's just neat. You know, when it first came out, people were saying it was a new type of Animal Crossing, and it's like for those who don't want to commit and blah, blah, blah. But I find it peaceful. The background music is very peaceful. It's very calm, and there's a little bit of morbidity in the story because you don't know why the island is now a ghost land, an abandoned scout camp and everybody's dead. You don't know. And you're just assigned to help these bears, through their little missions, whether it's collecting 4 leaves or digging a hole for a shell or, it's kind of neat.
I like the way it looks.
It is, the graphics are very pleasing.
Yeah. They're like
yeah.
hand-drawn watercolor
Yep.
type of thing. That looks pretty cool. And I like
Yeah.
how on the Steam page there is an actual notice that says Cozy Grove runs in real time and is optimized for 1 to 2 hours of daily play.
Yep, that's it.
So basically, it's one of the selling things. It's like when you buy this, you're gonna be playing it 1 hour, maybe 2 hours in a day, and that's it. Don't expect more than that. I like that they do that.
Yeah,
I like
do
the art
too.
style.
It's
I do like
smooth.
the art style.
you know, you can see on Steam they've got some great videos of actual gameplay, and like you do get to create your own little campsite, so you can pick up furniture and stuff. And they did release some recent updates which have been really cool, where you have a tent, and in the tent you can put stuff like I got this little cat by putting these two different pieces of fruit together, and you get a cat. Don't get more than one cat though, because the cats don't like each other. And it's just, there's different areas and you like unlock different things, and it's really, it's relaxing. The background music is really soothing. You go fishing, you know, cook, it's fun. I'd recommend it for anybody who wants something quick.
Yeah, I might actually check it out, because I like the way it looks. I like that it's 1 hour, a couple hours maybe in a day. If you want to check it out, you don't have to. And it's cheap. It's on Steam for
It is.
cheap.
It is very cheap. It's $15,
Yeah,
and that's full price on Steam.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. It came out in, I want to say April of April of 2021.
Yeah.
So it's been out for well, actually it's been out a year.
Yeah, just a
Total
year.
of a year. I got it when it first came out because there was a lot of hype about it. I like it now more than I did when it first came out because they've added a lot more stuff.
Right, which makes sense, right? Something that I guess to keep people playing, didn't have to keep adding stuff. It has some very good reviews. It has 89% of all time. That's pretty good.
I love it. I literally, if I've had a really long, stressful day and I need a game to like relax, I'll play this. I'll play it.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being a nice, relaxing game at the end of the day.
Yep. But the real premise is that you're dropped on this island and there's a fire and you have to complete little missions and stuff and get more logs to feed to the fire, who tells you more of the story. It's kind of cute. And you meet more and more characters as you go along and you unlock more and more. It's pretty fun.
cool.
I'd recommend it.
Nice.
That's my little tidbit on it. You get to raise little animals on your plot, so it's cute. Wear costumes.
Nice. I should tell one of the girls I work with. She has a daughter. She's 7, I would say. She just
Zach loves it. He plays it.
but she's not really into video games. And because her mom is not really into that either, so she doesn't really let her play video games. But then, you know, as the kid's growing, she's getting more interested in things, and obviously because other kids at school. And unfortunately, she started playing Farmville. And when she told me that at work the other day, I was like, why? Why are you letting your kid play Farmville? What are you doing? Of all games that you could introduce to your kid to play, you give her Farmville. Why? Don't.
This would be cute. Zach likes it because they added a new bug catching feature where you have a net and you go around and you have to catch the bugs, and it's really like
nice.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, that kid's funny too. She loves bugs and lizards and stuff. And every time she comes to the shop with her mom, she just goes upstairs and she goes with all the snakes and bugs and things like that we have, and other dead animals. And she just sits upstairs there for hours and just plays and makes up her own stories between the snakes and the bugs and the dead rats.
That's kind of cool in a way, I guess.
That's pretty awesome.
So she might be interested in that. I'm gonna have to tell her.
It's cute. Like, I like it. One of the bears, literally, you unlock him later on down the line. He looks like a corn on the cob. Literally, he's a corn on the cob, and he has little arms that are leaves, and it's just what they did was I don't know if you've ever played Alpha Bears, but they took some of the same designs from Alpha Bears, which was like a spelling game type of thing, and they put them in this game with the bears. And like you're fishing, and there's some science, I think, too, in it, like critical thinking, because you make lights and lanterns and you place them strategically so that it lights up more area.
Oh.
Because originally when you start, you're on this tiny little island and you don't see the rest of the island. It's not there. The more you unlock, the more of the island raises out of the sea, and
Oh,
more
that's
and
cool.
more areas are there. And there's like a seagull who's a boat captain, and he likes to collect all of your stuff and catalog it.
Mhm.
And so like the first piece, so say you have a seashell, a red seashell. If you've never had one before and you give it to him, he'll give you a prize. And it's just, and the more and more stuff you fill up his catalog, and it's neat. It's the type of game for anybody, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like it.
Nice.
Looks
That's
cool.
what I've been playing a lot of. That's what I've been up to. Cozy Grove. I have not touched Animal Crossing since there was snow on the ground.
Surprise.
it
I haven't felt like it.
gets in
That's fair.
spells, honestly.
That's fair,
It
yeah.
does.
I needed something different, so
Mhm.
I feel ya.
Yeah.
yeah.
I can relate. That was me on Destiny, honestly, lately. I'm like,
And you know, Jarf's been playing so much DayZ that I'm just like, whatever, I'll go play my own thing.
yeah, it's good, you know. Like try something else once in a while. Take a
Well, we
break,
tried
you know?
playing WoW together.
Take a break. It's good.
It was not a good idea. I got my flying, and he's like, why can't I fly? Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right.
Anything else before we wrap it on up?
I think we should get going. We've been at it for
We
like
promise we won't have as long of a hiatus as before.
Yeah.
We'll be more current,
I make
more
no
often.
promises.
We'll try. How about we'll try really hard? Okay, we'll try.
All right. We'll try. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about very soon. I'm pretty sure in the next coming month or so. We're gonna get a bunch of.
Well, like on Tuesday, Blizzard. I know you guys don't care, but I do. Blizzard's announcing the next expansion for WoW.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be excited.
Really?
I'll watch.
Yeah.
I'll definitely watch. Yeah. They're already
They
talking about it.
are?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have a new expansion for WoW. We're gonna have the Overwatch 2 beta that will be running at that time. We'll have
Oh,
the
boy.
new season of Overwatch League. So I'll have a lot of stuff to talk about.
I see.
Probably.
We'll have the,
by that time we might have a new season of Destiny.
We also got the Guardian games coming up
The
here for
Guardian-
Destiny too.
Right, the
Yeah.
Guardian games, yeah.
So, yeah.
Next time we have a show, we should talk about E3 and it being canceled.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What?
Not to touch on it now, but
Let's
save it for
yeah,
next show.
Let's save
Yeah.
it
Save it for next show.
Save it for
And I'll
next
try
show.
not to be as sleepy the next show. Holy cow.
Have some coffee.
We went to the movies today, and it was,
Mhm.
yeah.
I recommend the third Fantastic Beast movie. It's very good, well worth it.
Oh, yes, we saw that today. And within the first 10 minutes, I was like, what? Yeah.
Well, she couldn't believe that they'd recast Johnny Depp with Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh. they
Oh,
did.
really?
Interesting.
That is a.
Yep.
Wow, that's a contrast.
He got fired because of that whole lawsuit between him and his ex-wife.
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
That's
he's an
why I had to
innocent
ask
one.
you who he was.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
who
that's
is this guy?
that's funny because now they have Ezra Miller who got fired because of his bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So they're gonna have to recast that guy for the next one.
Well,
If
you
there-
know.
I don't know if there's going to be a next one because it was kind of a definite ending.
Wait, who's Ezra Miller?
He played
Uh,
Credence.
Oh,
because like what
the story's not done.
yeah,
the story's not
it's
done.
definitely
Oh.
not because the latest thing I've read about him is that they've so far suspended his work on Flash and suspended his work on Fantastic.
See, I
Fantastic
thought
Beasts.
Flashpoint was done. I think Flashpoint's actually done being filmed.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned this too, for here. And I remember reading an article recently that like there's some new heads over. Was it like over the Warner Brothers here, part of it there, where they're really
Right.
considering about like redoing the whole it was a
The
comic
whole
universe
DCU?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't blame them. It's so convoluted. Like there's
Well-
there's.
I mean,
Just
I'm
a
just
mixing-
gonna say one thing.
Mhm.
Zack Snyder.
Who's that?
The thing about the DCEU is the fact that Flashpoint, if you pay attention to the comics, reboots everything.
Mm-hmm.
it literally reboots it into like the new 52. So
Mhm.
they go with Flashpoint the way it's supposed to. They'll reboot the whole DCU and wipe out everything they've done
Maybe
before.
we should talk about that on the next show.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah,
We'll do it next
yeah.
show.
I know we're kind of ramping up
But
like
the
things that we
point
can talk
is,
about
the
next
point
time.
is, the movie was awesome,
Mhm.
and if you're on the fence about going to see it, I would say hell yeah, go see it. I need to watch it again when it comes back, or
Right.
I may just say fuck it and go watch it again at our local theater as opposed to where we were, and hope it's better.
Right. Yeah, I don't have any interest in the Potter universe. So.
Oh, I love. There's one part I'll tell you where they're all inside Hogwarts and they're answering questions, and Dumbledore says 5 points to Hufflepuff, and I went, oh. I love Harry Potter. I am sold out Harry Potter, and I think what they're going to do is put it so that the movies are going to eventually match up.
Well, that's the point, right? Isn't that the point?
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Isn't
And then,
isn't
yeah.
Fantastic Beasts supposed to be a prequel to Harry Potter?
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
And they're going to match up. Yep. Because they've already done the Tales of Beetle the Bard, sort of, by weaving it into a couple movies. But yeah, I love Harry Potter.
Okay.
Not as much as I love Disney. So where can they find you, Jarf? Oh yeah,
Anyways,
thanks
actually-
for watching.
If anyone's actually interested, you can catch me and the show on Twitter at Grandmaster Jarf, and the show's Twitter is the Saints of M, because the Saints Misery have taken for whatever fucking reason. I am on
Was it too
Instagram
long?
at
Maybe it was-
Grandmaster Jarf.
Maybe it was too long.
Was it too long? I think it was too
I
long.
think it was too long.
Yeah, it was.
And my Twitch channel, which very rarely ever gets uploaded, is twitch.tv/GrandmasterJarf.
Flow.
All right, you can find me all over social media at fsanporte and on YouTube at Holy Shiitake.
The mushroom, not the shit.
I have to say, I have watched some of your stuff, and it's really awesome.
Nice, thank you, I appreciate it. We're kind of on a break right now. We haven't made a video in quite a while. Partly my fault because I needed a break. But yeah, we'll be coming back on the channel with regular videos about Japan very soon.
Woohoo!
Very nice. Very nice.
Kaba.
Yo. Okay. So, you can find me at _KMebus, both on Twitch and Twitter. I've been doing a lot of more art streams lately for it here, so definitely feel free to hit me up on Twitter to watch for when I'm going to be posting. A little bit sporadic right now, no real set schedule for it here, but definitely feel free to come check it out. Definitely appreciate all the love.
You
But that's
you definitely should go check him out. He made a commission for me, and it's pretty amazing.
What
Thank
did
you,
he
thank
make you?
He made me Lisa from Blackpink, his own style,
Ooh.
and it's pretty great.
That's
As
awesome.
a fellow owner of a piece of his artwork, it is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that doesn't have a piece?
Well,
Yes,
you know what you
but
need
I
to
got
do next.
mine-
Uh-oh.
I
Oh,
got
Lord.
mine, like 10, 12 years ago. I've had mine for over a decade, so
yeah.
I
Well,
got mine
then.
from a local convention before that lovely story that
Mm.
he needs to tell on air one time.
Oh God.
Modified, of course. Modified.
Yeah,
Next time,
modified.
Next
Yeah,
time.
well-
It's quarter of midnight.
well-
Come on, next time.
That's a little hush hush at the moment here, but we'll talk about that right now. Anyway.
And Bella, where can find you?
Well,
Get off your phone, hon.
I know. It was a Toy Story pin. I couldn't not.
Oh, God.
I know. You can find me on Twitter at _Elizabella. I have an Instagram, really?
Yeah, you made it for Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah. On Instagram at _ElisabellaAC. I have been streaming on Twitch, but I can't remember what it is.
She has two. One's only being used. It's twitch.tv/the_Elizabella or the _Elizabella 2.
I don't. Oh really? I have two of them.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
'Cause we
I don't
got locked out of one with password.
That's right. Honestly, guys, I don't know what I would do without him. I have been very scatterbrained lately.
That's funny.
And he's like the cheese to my macaroni. It is awesome.
She signed up for Twitch with an old college email, and she doesn't have access to college email anymore.
Oh.
Do it.
No, I
Gotta do
didn't.
it.
I signed up when it was
Stop.
Oh yeah, it was
They don't
that
need to know
one.
specifics.
We don't have time. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thanks for coming and joining us today. I am not going to host next time. It'll be one of those other guys because they are much better at it than me. So thank you for joining us.
All right. See you all, guys, on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do all those YouTube things that you do on YouTube. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.